Hey, is this thing on? Wait, why can't I hear myself? That's weird. Oh, there we go. No. I hate that more. Oh. Yeah, I sound very different in this microphone. 1 second. There we go. Okay, what is up? Let's switch it over. One and all, welcome back to the channel. Oh my god, it's Wednesday! Which means when is Thursday going to arrive? Because that's when KB's usually back streaming. Why is he streaming today? This is weird. I didn't know this was feasible. I didn't know this was possible, but it's actually happening. I know, a rare bloody sight as we actually go live every day of the week. I can't believe it. I mean, that right there is innovation. That's development. That's evolution, baby. Yes, we are back. We're going to be covering Vortex versus SAS into Dumu up against Anatan. And then it gets interesting because then we'll be switching over for a sponsor stream. We're actually going to be working with Logitech today because they have got their Logitech G Play event happening at 16:45 GMT. So we'll be tuning to that. We'll be doing a co-stream. We'll be reacting. I'll be able to talk to you guys. We are hyping up the product coming out. I've even got my old school Astros on. Was meant to be sent some new ones, but we had some shipping issues, unfortunately, so those aren't going to arrive in time. But I am hyped for it. 1 second, let me need to post that out as well. Yeah, we'll probably rock some Age of Empires 4 for like 2 or 3 hours, and then we should be good to switch over. Why change headphones? Why not? I forgot how comfortable these are, man. Holy crap. Like these headset right here, I've had this for 10 years. It's held up really well. I'm pretty bloody impressed, actually. All right, 1 sec. I just need to make sure we've got everything. I think we're live on every platform. Glorious. That's exactly what I love to see. And it wouldn't be live on Kick if we didn't have bots already harassing us, trying to get us to buy viewers. But anyway, we're going to be kicking off Vortex versus SAS. SAS able to annihilate Mirai 2-0. I was pretty impressed by that. You're getting new Astros? You're not getting anything. I don't even... So it's a bit of a bummer, actually. So, I've seen a few people on social media with them. Basically, what happened is there was a delay in some of the shipping orders. We're meant to have a Logitech package to show up that features some really cool products. I don't know exactly what's in it, but I could take a guess. Basically, they sent us this really cool lockbox that you just unlock and check out on stream. But I think mine's going to arrive afterwards. So, I don't know. We'll dawn them when we get back from holiday. But... yeah, looking forward to that. So make sure after we're done with the games, guys, you hang around. Because remember, like, if sponsored content does well, it supports the channel. And also, my thought process is this. If we smash it with Logitech, we might be able to get them involved in the scene, right? It's good to not just have a Monopoly man of one, like, brand representing. It's always nice to have this kind of diversity. How was my tooth today? It's like becoming headaches. I just popped some codeine, which is back there. I better get that off the screen. I don't want to dox my mum. Yeah, I just popped some very strong painkillers, so I'm hoping I'll feel better. But let's cheer ourselves up with this. We're going to be hopping in. This is going to be an interesting one. After such a dominant sweep of Myriad, I'm curious to see what SAS is capable of here, aka messaging over here in the Mongols for game number 1. Welcome back to the channel, folks, for quarterfinals between Vortex and SAS. Game number 1 is going to be the Mongols coming out for SAS. Response is going to be the HRE from Vortex. Yeah, so pretty much the kind of expected outcome, right? Like, very powerful Civ. The HRE has been an interesting pick into things like Mongols recently, just because the Dark Age rush means that actually Mongols kind of struggle to win there. So I really love this idea. It's kind of crazy, but we basically got HRE looking to Dark Age Rush Mongols, which is, for anyone who's been a long-time fan of Age of Empires 4, a long-time fan, that's kind of the polar opposite of what you'd expect to see. Mongols was El Clasico Civ, always the one back in the days that was doing the rushing, but not here. No. Damn, my voice sounds really different. Is it okay on your guys' ends? It definitely sounds correct, right? I hope so. Include the nooses and midweek muster. We'll figure it out as we get closer. I mean, we always include new things. Like, I'd say our tournament is the most innovative one in the scene. Just because of the regularity of new maps coming in, right? So, looks like Sass made an interesting choice here. He tried to get the best of both worlds, protecting everything with the TC. Is working out quite nicely, actually, when you look at the spawn. My only concern is tree lines. Tree lines are really unsafe with this type of focus. Yeah, I think this is a tricky thing for Mongols, actually, now to think about. If you're up against a more aggressive Civ on the opening, just kind of look a little bit stuck. The good news is, though, like, these initial spears shouldn't be able to do much in the way of damage, right? So you should, to some degree, at least feel safe. Maybe. Probably not. Used to get like Logitech, but these days none of them can survive. Really? That's interesting. So I got hands-on with a friend's G Pro wireless, and I was like, damn. That was when I got intrigued by Logitech. So, like, I had a good experience with them personally. I recently had another brand just break on me. Like, the middle mouse button crapped out, which is why I had to switch to a mouse I got gifted ages ago. So a little bit of a lame on the deer here. And we'll be looking to pull back now. So, 2 spearmen, not the biggest investment, but obviously didn't get much for it. I mean, I think you're happy if you're Sass, right? It's still a tricky one at the start of the age just because of how powerful the Civ is in a few different ways. And I do wonder, is Vortex going to be going Archon or Minework? Because I feel like we see a lot of Minework recently, but Vortex, and this has been the big shock to me, Vortex hasn't been a fan of it. Yeah, the reason that shocks me is I'd say Minework is more aligned with people who like to play aggressively. And, I mean, Vortex has got a reputation, right? As one of the most aggressive players in AoE4. So it was a big shock to just see him not utilizing that, really. Even Stevens on sheep, by the way, which means Vortex did get slightly more. And he still has some rotation left to do. That's already been covered. Somehow sheep did get missed here. God damn, curse these sheep. Why can't they just stay still? Always moving around, trying to not get rallied back to the base to be eaten. I mean, you'd think if they were trying to be that sneaky and hide, they at the same time wouldn't be so idiotically easy to guide to their death. You know? It's like, I'm not entirely convinced they don't want to be eaten. You know? Like one of those cartoon pigs with like was it in Simpsons where it lays on its side and it's like just rips the rib off. It's like, here, this is delicious. So yeah, Archon coming in. It is going to be on the berries. But this is slightly Pro Scouts. I think if you're going for the Archon play, really Pro Scouts is just a given on maps with tree lines this small. It's the only reason it really justifies it, because alternatively, he could have, Archoned here? Nah, it wouldn't have connected with gold. I find this is usually an awkward issue. Like, you can sometimes get the gold wood spawn, but I don't know what it is about HRE picks recently. They always end up with their gold exposed away from the trees, so that they can't get both resources in range of their Archon. Reminder, guys, we are also still working with AMD throughout the week, so when you see that link pop up in chat, make sure you are clicking it. Go on through, check out the 9700X and all the other AMD products. I highly endorse, recommend, through and through. We're full AMD equipped, wherever possible. And we will have another link a little bit later, so make sure you click that one. In fact, the upcoming Logitech sponsor piece, we should have some giveaways they're working on that you guys can get involved in. Archery range now coming through. Okay, kind of an interesting opening, actually. But it's because of the Magadai. This is the second time this week we've seen Sass try this. I mean, it makes sense. We've seen it work to great success. It's a beautiful denier against Pro Scouts. In fact, Sass used this in his earlier round of 16, to beat the Roos on this very map. Yeah, just suffocating the play under Pro Scouts, but there's a difference in tempo, difference in timing to keep in mind here. Vortex. There's also the difference of him not committing to Pro Scouts. That's the difference here. Last time, the Roos had already ham-fisted into it. And, oh my god, I've still got the music on, haven't I? Okay, there we go. Turn it off. Dude, I need to remember how I set it up. I had it set up before, so the laptop, like, the audio loops are split so that I didn't have that issue. I don't know. This is a lot of Magadai, by the way. I wasn't expecting him to take it this far. Like 2 or 3 just to bait a response, but he's actually going full. Attack speed arrow is going to get activated. Good micro by Vortex to pull away there, though, absorbing the shots with the spears. Gotta be very careful around these spears as well. Remember, they have got additional movement speed, so easy for them to just gap close on you unexpectedly. The Prelate's an interesting detail, by the way. Vortex, instead of buffing everyone with the Arcane, he's been pulling it out intermittently to heal up the injured. That's pretty sick. Oh my god. You know what's sick and disgusting? This goddamn Falcon. Or as I like to call it, the biggest snitch in the sky. 2 of them. They're breeding now. This is a problem. There's just so much free information given over. Now, Sass is prepping to ramp up. He's got Steeled Arrow on the way. Vortex, he did commit, right? Yeah, he's locked in Pro Scouts. So he's looking to sneak out the base. He queues up additional scouts. Loses the first. Ah, this is a dicey start for Vortex. Stable's not in from Sass, so he's pretty much just doing the exact same build he done against Myriad. But I think, if I remember correctly, by this point, Myriad had lost 2 or 3 workers. It's a very different game state than the previous edition of this map. So hard to count Magadai on this map. It's pretty tricky because the widespread nature of it. You can't really guard all of your deer gatherers, but the idea is that you spread your gatherers thin, right? So you might lose 1 or 2, but you can move back. The tricky part of Magadai, though, is like compared to Spearmen, they're much better at picking off the scouts. Vortex. An ambitious step up there by the 1 archer. Villager going down. First blood on the work account has been drawn. It's done. Archer mass not quite big enough yet, but Vortex has got something else to ram down his throat here. We have got a horseman switch coming on in. Vortex queuing up 3. But no under mesh. Against the Steeled Arrow, it's going to hurt a little bit. And what's up, Yogurts? I wish you were co-streaming with Drongo. I think Drongo is just always in a perpetual state of juggling a baby or falling asleep at this point. I mean, Drongo's kind of got it nice, right? Like, he has the YouTube audience. He's done great there. And I think if you think about it with his life, it's pretty cushky, right? Just go on AoE4 for an hour or 2 a day. Find a quality game. Cast over it. Upload it. And go back to looking after your kiddos. Yeah, being successful on live streaming and being successful on YouTube is very different. And that comment was indeed from TikTok. I need to find a way to try and embed the TikTok chat in the embedded chat. I just don't know if that's feasible. Because the tricky thing you guys may not know is, like, with TikTok, they give you a new stream key every single time. YouTube does it still as well, though, so there might be a way. I'll look into it. Of course I respond, man. That's just the beauty of live streaming compared to pre-recorded. We can respond, and what a response here from Vortex! Man, going for the boar of all things. If he gets this outpost up, it's a great staging point, but I am a little bit worried about the bow count. It's scaling really nicely for Vortex. Magadai, though, with that ranged armor. Pain in the ass to get a kill on. He's target firing them down, though. And I love that. Do you see what he done there? He took out the Khan hunters. So no more range advantage for the Magadai. They have to get really close here. The disengages are going to get ugly. Outpost being rushed up. Horsemen trying for the kill. Won't be able to find it. And Archers do not steal the deal either. But in the process, they already got 2 extra. So Vortex now with the eco lead. Painful fight on both sides, really. But, you know, the beautiful thing for Vortex is he can still just pull deer back behind this. And with the Archon buff, he does better than the ball play, right? Like, the gathering rate for Mongols is going to be inconsequential in the face of Bambi. That's right. Turns out in this round, Bambi beats Pumbaa. They have gotten in a real fight? Not sure, but in this situation, most definitely so. Remember, it's 0.84 versus 0.9 food gathering, but then you buff it by 35%. Yeah, Atri is kind of probably the craziest pro scout civ in the game when they're allowed to do it, just because of that ridiculous gathering rate. What's this event called? This is the Midweek Muster. So every Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday, we run the midweek muster. Open scheduling format, 32 of the best players in the game, and a lot of known faces competing, actually. And Vortex currently on a 3-win streak in this format. Reminder, though, for the upcoming week, there will be a break. I'm deciding whether it's a 1 or 2 week break based on some information I'm waiting to hear back on. But I will be in Greece from the 23rd to the 30th for the fans. So just a little reminder to people. This is when we stream on TikTok. We got our streaming key about a week ago. So we stream on 4 different platforms now. I'd be curious to see if TikTok is actually successful, though. I think the style of game that Age of Empires 4 is like TikTok. I'd be surprised if it hits with that audience. As TikTok live streaming is very different to Twitch live streaming. What actually usually works on TikTok is very much constant. It's different. But, you know, my thought there is that's what's known, right? Niches are there to be discovered. Good eye. Just trying to deny some vision, deny some deer. We have got a tech play from both sides, by the way, but Sass is much slower here. He almost has what he needs. Probably going to be a step readout. Regnet's coming through, and there's still a handful of Magadai. He's rotating around the back now with the cavalry line, but Vortex does see that early courtesy of the outpost, so has it covered. Villagers are going to break away. I mean, the problem with the Magadai is, like, you can't move and shoot what you really want to hit. They'll shoot whatever the hell's closest in this situation. Just showing a lot of hate for the cathedral. It's almost like them. It's almost like they're shamans, you know? Shamanism might be the go-to. I don't think they like Catholicism very much. Just a thought. They're definitely going to hate these Catholics, considering the Vortex isn't in a bad position to try and start staking claims on the map. Archer veterancy is going to be queued up. You messed around with TikTok streaming. The biggest issue is field of view, personally. How do you show the most important info? I mean, if you open up Killer Pigeon's TikTok, you'll see. And yes, I'm going to be going to the dentist in the morning. Dude, my dental appointment is 8:30 downtown. Oh, so early. I'm not made to get up that early. Nice shivs out. Keshik veterancy on the way. I don't think we have a TikTok link through. Usually with like the live streams, I allow you guys to interact, but like I don't necessarily encourage you to go to one or the other because I want them to grow themselves. Because like the logic is like if someone's watching on Twitch and goes watch on TikTok, they might stop watching on Twitch. Like, that's not growing an audience. That's basically shuffling an audience. Which is actually something that Kick's trying to do right now. Which is why they pay so much to get streamers across there. But we just want to grow. Something that hasn't been growing in this game, Magadai count. Have you guys, like, been seeing it go up at all? I feel like it's just been sitting there the same. Oh, nice. I got to send some diamonds. Thank you very much, Yogurts. Appreciate it, bud. Yeah, I didn't want to hit it too much, but Faplop did just reveal how much of a boomer he is when he misspelled TikTok. That's like my granddad just going and spelling YouTube U-T-U-B-E. Or like talking to an Australian and then thinking he said T-W-E-E-T-C-H instead of Twitch. Okay, I'm in retreat. I'm worried, actually. I just feel like this count is not really inflating quick enough so far. It also almost feels like Sass is considering Imperial. That's not going to be feasible here, though. Vortex has no chill in this situation. Running and gunning, baby. 4 is already getting idled out. We've got more knights being queued up. It looks like he's going to end up losing the heavy cavalry game in the coming moments here. You have to worry about the spearmen. Spearmen that like don't take bonus from the Magadai, remember. They don't die as quickly as they would to archers. Keshik does find the back though. Okay, so gets himself a kill. Should be able to connect for a second. That's not too bad, actually. Just chip damage like that can be big here. But the relics are starting to come in fast. 2 already on the way home. About to be banged, and Village is in the center. Oh, Sass, he didn't pull them into tower quick enough. Armor Arrow gets activated, but to retreat, that's a disaster. Yeah, using that ability and running away is the worst possible look for a Mongol player. Misread the fire and then misuses a crucial tool here. Reminder, it gives you the bonus armor. See right there, +2 armor on all these frontliners. It's a huge deal against archers in particular, but now he just doesn't have it. All villagers going down. I can't believe how quickly this is just unraveling. When you consider how close this looked moments ago, right? Kind of neck and neck, but now, I mean, the huge idle time that's occurring. Lack of safe resources. We've got to keep in mind this is a game where he's only added in, what, 3 pastures? He has at least got some reserve sheeps, 4 full, 4 eaten. But I am worried that the step readout has no usage now. No, because now you have to move for the South Gold or the Central, and he didn't realize. Oh, God. Wait, was that the berry workers the whole time? That's so much walk distance without wheelbarrow. He's at least got Yarn, but still. And props to him. Sass has at least tried to keep this about raid on raid. He's been trying to out-attack. The issue I'm seeing in this game is, like, you can raid, but what's coming is a direct fight. And what Sass is most definitely not ready for is a direct engagement. He's still in the raid-focused area of his game. He's going to try to step up. I mean, he's feeling the pressure. Vortex not far away from hitting that economy at this rate. No, can we just stop with this? It happens too often. At least the step readout's in place now, but he just calls it. There's nowhere to go. He gets brute forced out. GG, game number 1 goes to the Spaniard. All right. Yeah, was it Scarecrow asking about format? No, it wasn't Scarecrow, was it? It was RTS paper cut. Yeah, if you have a look, like, I mean, I'm trying to think if there's any easy way. Oh, yeah, I can just click my own TikTok link and show you. So, guys, this is like how I set things up. TikTok link and show you. Oh, guys, this is like how I set things up. Oh, my God. I need to mute myself, though. Oh, guys, shut up, me. But going to game 2, we're going to be on Cliffside. It's going to be Knights Templar versus Rus. Wait, what? Why is Knights Templar coming out on Cliffside? That's a very unusual pick. I mean, they didn't get... There's no water maps, right? Because Klauga got banned, I guess, is why he's doing it. Okay. So let me update the scoring. And then we'll switch over. We got this aligned correctly. No, we need to flip. Okay, so guys, I'll quickly show you what we do with the overlay. On TikTok. Because I think it's pretty cool. I think we cooked really good with this. So bear me one sec. Oh, I just discovered this, by the way. Do you guys know you can do this with Opera? Don't download it. We're going to do another campaign probably in October. But look. You can share. So, let me show you what we do with TikTok. So if I switch it over, it says in-game for you guys. So this is like, you know, 16:9, whatever, right? But I'm going to pause it now so I can show you. When it's on TikTok, we do this. So we have the mini-map up top. Sorry, I'm kind of blocking part of TikTok. We have mini-map up top. We have resource bar, and then central bar, and then bottom. Like, probably the cleanest you can get without doing some heavy overload of how TikTok works. And not how you capture info from the game. Yeah, we came up with something pretty cool there, I think. All right, but anyway, let's get ready to get to it. Game number 2, Vortex already leading. He trusts in the Roost for Cliffside, but Sass has gone diff. Yeah, we're off the reservation now. A Knights Templar pick coming in here. Oh, what's up, Yogurts? I see you with the extra diamonds. Thank you very much, mate. Dude, you're a legend. Look at you go. Are you my whale on TikTok? I think so. Yeah, like this is This is curious though. Like, so was the idea a Dark Age rush? Because if so, I don't think he was expecting Rus. Maybe he was expecting English. No, you couldn't Dark Age rush English. French, HREs already used. Maybe Byzantines. Because the thing about Rus is they're not necessarily vulnerable, especially with this spawn. Are you kidding me, bro? The options are real here. Yeah, and I think Vortex is already aware of it. Like, when you're playing against Knights Templar, what's their play on a land map like this? They have to get kind of creative. And yeah, we'll talk more about GX probably next month. I think we'll look to get our hands on... I'm going to talk to them about maybe doing another sponsor slot with them in October. Change the name? Thank you, Sass. But yeah, Sass, talk to me. Like, I actually love this when we have these type of situations. So talk to me about the strategy for here. Were you expecting Rus? Because I feel like the entire strat here relies on the idea that you can burn down like something of value, like deny gold, right? Or deny berries. Like, were you thinking maybe Byzantines? Or were you certain it was going to be Rus? Maybe, I think maybe what Sass was expecting is like a different tree line spawn so that you can get the hunting cabins like this, but I don't know. Oh, you didn't expect the second hunting cabin? Yeah, this is pretty typical Cliffside though, right? I feel like you quite often get that second tree line. And uh-oh, it's Frey time. Hey, Frey. Hey. Hey. You have fun? Hey. Light speaker today, ain't you? You have fun at nursery? Don't press that button. Do not press that button.
What's that button?
That breaks the microphone, so don't press it. All right. Do you want to say goodbye to stream? You want to go play? Hi.
Hi, stream. Bye, stream.
Bye, stream. All right, off you go to play. What? Blow kiss to stream. All right. Blow kiss. All right. Bye, stream.
Bye, stream. Bye, stream. Bye, stream.
Go play. Go play, mum. Oh, bless her. So, from Sass, Insights. I was expecting I could towel one side of his base and play from there. Well, he's already delayed. Yeah. I mean, the thing is, I feel like I see this type of spawn a lot of the time, or I've seen, and it's always the Spanish bros, actually. The Giga Broken spawn, where the tree lines are really close together, and sometimes they actually connect. So you get, like, the perfect high trade house. You basically get a pocket area. It's crazy. It almost looks like they're playing on Hideout. Yeah, this is rough, man. So Tech Up's going to be coming through. I guess you Hospitalaire. I don't know if French really gives you anything here. At least with Hospitalaire, you make your economy a little bit more efficient. Yeah, he's got one spin one on the back. I mean, Vortex, he has a safe tree line. He's already gathering on the wood, so this should be an archery range beginning. And it is going to be Hospitalaire. Yeah. Hospitalaire makes a lot of sense. It just makes your villagers a lot harder to kill, makes them a lot more lean and efficient. Not really much value in going for the unit, the Hospitalaire themselves, but the alternative of the French commander just doesn't really... I don't think it has much value here. I think the French commander would be too slow to deny pro scouts. And then your opponent, if they just fast castle, your paper mache knights just die to horse archers, right? So at least with Hospitalaire, you're making your economy a bit more efficient. And also down the line when it is horse archers, means your villagers are harder to kill. Because remember, they get 15 extra HP. And that does, by the way, scale nicely with the textiles percentile. So you essentially become gilded villagers when it comes to your tankiness. This is an ambitious skill. Have you actually pinned him? No. Wait. Did you think you pinned him, though? Be honest. It's okay, because it almost looked like you had him for a sec, right? Like, because if he's against the gold and not against the mining camp, you've got him trapped. Oh, that's rough. You thought... I knew it. I appreciate the honesty. Oh, man. You know what it is? It's just Vortex is too fast. He recently upgraded to 120 Hertz Monarch. So the only way you're going to beat him now is, like, if you're going to be able to beat Vortex with your Sass or someone else, you need to go and get yourself an AMD 8-core. So I don't think Vortex has one of them. So you can still get a 1-up on him. You just need more CPU power. Nice cheeky wall. I like this. Just cuts the rotation in a game where Sass is now having to go archers. Yeah, Proscast is on the way. Vortex, he already got forced into a few archers himself. Now, this is like an interesting matchup because Knights Templar are really good at doing archers, but Rus aren't terrible either themselves, actually, guys. Like, remember the Rus, they have got the extra 20% wood gathering from the Wooden Fortress. So they inflate quite nicely also. And they have a little bit of flexibility in how they can allocate extra resources via the Golden Gate. The other thing that's going to matter is if he gets the Pro Scouts home. I do like this out of SAS, though. He's played out onto the deer. So just actively gathering on the map, understanding that like sitting in his base here does not help him. Survival techniques now on the way. So further inflation. I mean, the crazy thing is just how much the small percentiles of bounty makes a difference in conjunction with deer. It is pretty crazy. Yeah, SAS now just trying to guard the west side. I mean, it's a pretty good spawn to do so, actually. Like, the double deer west side, this is a pretty good point to anchor. Vortex, realistically, should only be getting one deer stack. As long as you don't start hemorrhaging early. You better get away, okay? Papa SAS is... Oh, for God's sake. I was about to say, he's basically got you a healer, and that was pointless. Yeah, building Hospitalia not that great against ranged, as that's where they're weak. They have decent melee armor, but their ranged armor is pretty low. But the idea there was, like, in the early exchanges, you know, if you can kill one archer, keep yours barely alive, you can just kick him up to full HP. It's kind of like playing a poor man's Ottomans. It's a horrible exchange right there. The spin will go down. Vortex, just on it with the micro, man. Has a knight already. Already just cleared the spim, and disaster for SAS. These first few units dying has put him so far behind, actually. Yeah, even though he has archer numbers, that knight is now a giant conundrum to solve for. Horseman's going to try to counter dive, but he's also just going to die. Come on. This can't keep happening. Now, also, the Hospitaller turns up in the face of the knight. Formation shuffle is broken, though, so it will maybe save him. Yeah, did you see that catch-up, guys? That's a 1.19 movement speed unit. Tell me that's balanced. Because it's not. I'm gonna just die on this hill. That was stupid. That guy should be dead. Get him! Oh. Horseman do see an entry. Second knight coming, though. He still hasn't killed the first. Good lord. This Civ. Such a kushki pick these days, it feels like. Everyone loves Vortex. Everyone loves Vortex, but what about Zoidberg? Yeah, this is SAS. Messaging is SAS. Well, speaking of Zoidberg, SAS is going to whoop his way out of this situation because the Knights are quickly given chase. And he still doesn't have a good answer. No, doubling the spear count now, which just feels terrible when your opponent already has so many archers. But, like, he has no other answer to Knights, you know. We talked about the idea of Chevalier. I don't think that would have solved this problem, though. You ever see you play like this? I mean, like what? He tried to play aggressive, which SAS does a lot, actually. The problem for SAS here is, like, he just got completely outplayed on the opening fights, right? Like, when he stepped up, that first archer going down that was meant to get healed eventually, I think that just started a slight snowball. And already he was behind because of the opening before that, right? That the Rats play just didn't really pay off. You know, Vortex, even right now, is getting the second deer stack. So he didn't even get denied down to 1. Marching Mass just trying to get rid of spears. Should be enough for a one-hit kill. Now nicely with it, recommitment here. Horsemen aren't targeting on, and yeah, he's just throwing in the towel. GG. Vortex just so clean on this early game. Yeesh. Slam dunk, Kobe him out, put him in the trash. SAS is not having a fun time here. Not many people get to have a fun time when they go up against Vortex. But, you know, this is the thing we always say with these. Sometimes it's about what you learn along the way anyway. All right? Like, there's definitely valuable lessons in that. Like, for example, SAS learned how bullcrap cliffside spawns often are. It's one of the... I think that's why Roos gets prioritized on that map, by the way. It just feels like one of the maps where you can't really punish them with the Dark Age Rush. Like, because I don't know if you noticed, Sass. Like, I can't remember. Cliffside's not in... Let me double check. I don't think Cliffside is in rotation right now. Which is why it would, like, whoosh over your head, right? Yeah, Cliffside's not in right now, so it's easy to forget. Like, because Cliffside's not on ladder, people aren't as, like, familiar to it recently. But Cliffside quite often spawns like that. The walls have a lot more value, agreed. And then if you remember, do you remember Sass, the old build, the Kremlin build? Like, if we ever get back to that, Roos is still going to be a dominant pick there because China and Roos used to be the best picks on Cliffside because you could basically block the central ramps. It was ridiculous. Like, it was so toxic because they had quick route access to your base. I think even without 2TC, by the way, it could return without 2TC because it's direct access to your opponent and they can't do the same, right? So in an aggro and aggro matchup, you just have an overwhelming advantage. But let's see what the boys got in mind for game 3. Okay, Order the Dragon versus Delhi. And this is on... Is this front range? Oh, no, it's EGC Dry Arabia. Hey! Some people selected the correct version. Our fixed Dry Arabia. All right, here we go. All right, hype it up. We fixed Dry Arabia. Gone are these ridiculous sheep spawns. It's now more balanced. If you don't get your sheep, it's your own fault. No money back. We hop into game number 3. Vortex on match point. And Sass now looking to come from full behind here. He has gone for the Order of the Dragon up against the Delhi. And yes, EGC Dry Arabia. Honestly, I think we should just start calling them Caillou dash maps. He basically worked to fix the sheep spawns, which I'm now checking on. Have they been fixed? I should have checked earlier. I mean, they look fairly even, although it looks like there's not many. I almost want to say there's less sheep here. Yeah, it doesn't actually feel like there's... How many sheep are usually on Dry Arabia? Is it 26? 28? Why don't they adjust the sheep spawns in general? Feels like it's been talked about forever. Take it up with the devs. But all I'll say is, like, you know, we've been working our butt off to get a lot of map creators eyeballs on the creations so they can get feedback and evolve. And Caillou has been a rigorous grinder on adding and improving to the game. And he's been working out formulating ways, right? Like, he's created multiple maps where sheep doesn't spawn outside of near your TC. And it's pretty cool to see. It creates different dynamics. I think we need another nerf to Pro Scouts for that type of functionality to truly work as intended. But the idea is correct, right? It's like start taking out the equation, that RNG. Because AoE4 already has enough RNG. And, you know, you talk about things like the ball placement, deer placement, gold, etc. You know, you get an advantage off some of these, but you're like, okay, you have to weave out a strategy. The problem often with sheep spawns is like, there's no strategy to it, right? When the RNG-ness of the spawns is bad, you just lose. Because you have to do risky things. This is a pretty interesting thing from Sass. And it could be perceived as risky down the line. A little bit surprised we didn't get it earlier on. He pulls out onto the deer. It's the Logitech G play. That is an event that we are going to be co-streaming a little bit later in about an hour and a half-ish. So that is an event that Logitech do each year where they announce their intentions for upcoming products, esports events, other events they're working on. So we're being sponsored to co-stream that. So definitely want to hang around for that. Should be a fun one. A skill to Spinman is an interesting idea. I just think maybe the wrong civ for it. Yeah. Okay, so here's a good question for you guys. When was the last time you saw a Dark Age Rush from Order the Dragon work? Because I've been having this recently where they never pay off. And that, oh, come on. After last game where he thought he trapped the scout, it's like Vortex is like, yo, you paying attention? This is how you trap. The best part is the fact he's still gathering with a fort villager. Oh, no. And, I mean, you're not wrong to say disaster. Like, you queued a second spearman because you weren't doing enough damage. That is pain. Oh, my God. That's basically a third of going feudal age down the drain. No, closer to a quarter, but still. I don't know. I think it's tricky to make this pay off, though. Like, Order the Dragon are just too slow on scaling spears. You can't outpost rush either. Guys, do you remember what happens when Order the Dragon try to outpost rush? You just burn down the outpost. You just run over and burn it. Because the other problem for Order the Dragon is, like, the garrison force is just weaker, right? Like, you garrison and you've paid double what someone else does to get one arrow slit. It's a really bad deal. So even if it's turned into that, I'm not confident about it. Now things are going to get tricky, right? It's like with the age up coming through, Vortex, it should be... I assume he's going to open Ghazi still. You could probably justify archers now that you see spears, but like Ghazi to raid, if he scouts this, he's just going to want to shut it down. Looks like for now, Vortex has not seen the deer play. So there might be some hope here for Sass. Fine if disaster doesn't happen, you delay skulls and you eat deer and you justify making army. That's fair. Yeah, I can see where it coming from. Okay, let me know what you think about if a Delhi player goes TOV, though. I don't know. Like, I wonder if that does start to work. I wonder if the counterplay will be Tower of Victory. Okay, so Outpost coming up. Yeah, I guess if you want to play... So if you want to play Feudal as Order of the Dragon, it's Spear Archer, right? Because I don't think you... I mean, you could do Horsemen. Horsemen are pretty nice, but I think eventually, like, if it's long Feudal, you want Spear Archer. Because you can't play Men-at-Arms, right? Gilded Men-at-Arms against Ghazi sounds like a pretty bad idea. Especially if you're Arcaning. In theory, like, you know, the Gilded Men-at-Arms are very tanky. They will be Ghazi in fights, but the idea is you get kited. He's domed to counter MAA and Feudal. 4 dome buffs, they died pure to MAA. Interesting. Oh, you talking about the old HRE days? Yeah, but wait, well, the old HRE days, the big problem is that that like they used to dominate Delhi with mass men-at-arms, and then Delhi got the Ghazi added to the game. You remember? And then that's when things really started to turn around. You couldn't just mass men-at-arms anymore as HRE. Arkan. Is it going to be pro scouts at all? I doubt it. This is what's annoying as well. Like, when you're playing in these type of situations, you're worried about them taking sacred sites. You're worried about the free pro scouts. You do have multiple things to kind of solve for here. And having not delayed, it means that Vortex just has really good timings overall. Like, he's got 4 skulls already. He's got Blacksmith down. He can even go for military efficiency. And it is going to be Archer Spear from him. KP on a Wednesday. Oh, yeah, baby. You can thank Logitech for that. You want to play this matchup more. It's intriguing. I think Order of the Dragon, the weird thing for me is the most success I've seen them have is the fake out fast castle builds, and the other one is a Canadian exclusive. That would be the 2TC rush. Those are the two that have actually like kicked off the most. Wall on the back. So Vortex looks like he's just trying to cover himself, and it is going to be the Gilded Archer plus spears. Yeah, I like this. Horseman laid in as well. I think you build like 3 or 4 horsemen as raiders, and then if you need them for the fight, great. But otherwise, they just kind of formulate the same plan as a Ghazi raider, only better, because the Gilded Horsemen actually hit a lot harder. Yeah, they hit 25% harder, and happen to have more health than a Castle Age Knight. I did not stutter. They actually are that tanky. 250 HP on these bad boys. They don't know what dying is. Although sadly, it feels like Order of the Dragon these days don't know what winning is. Maybe Sass can solve that. Pro Scout's about to complete for red. Easy pullback as well. East and west, you pivot between the two. Berries are pretty awkwardly located, though. Like, this could maybe get denied. And a ball pull now. Yeah, switching into the better gathering rates. I think got the inspiration still lingering from the Arkan for a little bit. Order the Dragon and House of Lancaster Civ designs are the products of devs smoking some hard rock. Wait, why would you say that about Order the Dragon? I don't know. I kind of like what they tried to do with Order the Dragon. I think conceptually the idea was they thought it'd be less complicated for less skilled players because it's less things to manage. But the problem was the less skilled players got used to how the game worked, so then it was quite the conundrum. But what I do like is that they've tried to lean further into asymmetry. I think House of Lancaster is a bad lean because of their economy, but Order of the Dragon, I like this idea that they're trying to make civs even more different. The problem is, like, so far we've had a lot of asymmetry, but it still felt kind of comparative, whereas this is like stretching it super wide to the point that it's almost like seeing Terran and then seeing Protoss. What is up, Aaron? Thank you very much for this. And remember, I've always been a big fan of very different civs, by the way. Like, if you keep making similar civs, you attract the same audience, you don't attract new audience. You want a realm in which your game can keep growing. And if they're able to still design and balance the game so it works, that's great. And they've even been responsive, right? Like, you know, they've done a rare thing with Order of the Dragon when they nerfed Gilded Men-at-Arms, even though it wasn't really a problem at high rank, but they appreciated it was a problem at low rank. So they tried to adjust so that low rankers weren't just getting stomped on. Still, they are kind of getting stomped on, but, like, less so. And that's rare, by the way. Like, most developers will focus on balancing their civs around high-profile games. Because, you know, the optimal way of being played is the way you're concerned about. But there's definitely at least some foresight from the devs about concerns for the general community, not just pros. Which is nice to see. So, Vortex, what have we been getting here? We've been getting mass archer spears. We are getting a splash of Ghazi now, which is concerning. It doesn't really look like SAS has much of a front line against that right now. No, not a healthy front line anyway. The Horsemen have been kind of struggling a bit. Vortex now moving for Sacred Site control. Wait, you set a date night on Wednesdays? Do you call yourself a gamer and you're trying to get laid? Like, come on. The only way we get screwed is in game. Ayo. So what are we missing here? Gilded Archer count is pretty nice, but I mean the Ghazi, it just kind of feels like they're getting access a bit too fast. Archer target fire, almost perfect to one-hit kill the spears. Ghazi now jumping in, forces the commitment from the Horseman. Vortex behind this with 2 Sacred Site control. He's got a good economy. Gilded Archers also just unguarded, man. It just doesn't have enough front line. Oh, this is so tricky because of the need for Horsemen. Like, Spearman doesn't really last long enough. Men-at-Arms even against the Ghazi can be a bit of a struggle. Now, that means that SAS is going to be able to snuggle up with his teddy bear early tonight because it doesn't look like a long series to me. Vortex with a dominant military lead. Sacred Site control. Remember, he's also got the Pro Scouts play bringing the goodies home for when the berries run out. Meanwhile, for SAS, good luck. You're not going to be able to sit on the ball for long. I mean, dude. When Gilded Horsemen aren't even able to strike the Fear of God into archers, you know you got a problem, right? At this point, it's just trickle. I find this is always the issue with Order of the Dragon. It's very easy to find yourself in the middle of a trickle. Trickles aren't bad for them early on because the units are so tanky, but like after a while, it begins to look really bad. And is that my boy Neo through the raid? What is up, Back to Warcraft? Welcome, Warcraft freers, to the channel of a former Dota 2 caster turned RTS caster and host. How's it going? That's right, I got the sprinkling of both things you Warcrafters love. Dota 2 history and more RTSs. Yeah, we're just here in the middle of our midweek muster. This is something we do every single week. Well, except for next week because I'm going on holiday to Greece. We have a $20,000 esports circuit across 40 weeks. And by the way, we have been stacking up with some of the best in the game. Some of these, in fact, Warcraft people will know. Vortex, Lucifron, familiar sites for you guys. I can't remember if B was active back there, but Dumu, another one, I'm sure many. I think Doomy played a little bit. Yeah, he even goes back and plays Warcraft occasionally. Arches the trade-in. Yeah, we were just talking about, like, the craft games, and we were using, like, Protoss and Terrans. I guess, like, there's another way. Is like, the difference between this Civ that just surrendered and Delhi, miles apart. It's crazy just how different All the Dragon plays. Unfortunately, in this situation, it's not going to play to a win for SAS. So he'll go down 3-0. But, folks, you're in time for, I think, the one that a lot of people have eyeballs on and are excited for. Because we also have a Demu series today. Demu Anatan is up next. Let me grab the draft now. And reminder, we've got about hour and a half, 2 hours. So hopefully we'll be able to do it in time. Before we do our Logitech G Play co-stream event. I hope you guys hang around for that. Logitech has got a bunch of new products, esports plans, etc. coming up. So we'll be checking in on that. But let me get the draft. Yeah, and by the way, like, if you are a Vortex fan and you've been wondering what he's up against, it is a good time to come through. Marine Lord, who's the number one, just got stomped out 3-1 in the most recent tournament by Vortex. Vortex is looking unstoppable. In our weeklies that we run here, this is week number 6, when it's 6 now, I believe. He's won the last 3. Guy's turning into an absolute monster. A force to be reckoned with for sure. So let me get the draft ready for our second series of the day. So we're going to have Civ draft coming through and then map draft over here. I'm curious, though, because I don't know, Anatan has been looking a bit shaky recently. Like, historically with these two, I'd say Anatan's quite favored, recently favored between the two, right? Based on results we've seen. But Dumu might have a good shot, considering Anatan, he got roughed up pretty well by Core in the last event, which was quite unexpected. Like, I have a feeling even Core was kind of, like, checking himself for, like, bullet holes on that one. Like, what? What happened? Wait, let me just double check. Is that the draft for those two? No, sorry, I grabbed the wrong map draft. I was so confused for a second. Let me go in again. There we go. That's the correct map draft. So let's slap that bad boy in. Let me put the names in, and we'll get ready for game number 1. Can I get the liquid in? I might be able to. Okay, that is scuffed the way that typed out. There we go. We can. Okay, so board land for game number 1, which is where Dumu should feel at home. Let me catch up on chat. Knew it was a good time to visit? Oh, yes, my friend. Yeah, you caught us on a rare one, because I don't often stream on Wednesdays. It's usually my day off. But with the sponsored Logitech stream, we had to hop on, of course. No, it is a period. He's just going to have to accept this. All right, I'm using standard format. I'm even going to start doing... Actually, wait. You're right. I must be balanced. He gets it too. None of this spacing crap. All right, I'm being rigid. I'm gatekeeping esports clan tags. It's tag dot. All right. For my old Call of Duty 4 days, this is the only acceptable. Actually, no. That's in fairness, we can do the square parentheses as well. We'll allow those. That's only because it's blast from the past. All right, so I believe get underway. We're on a tight schedule here, folks. So let's get ready to roll. Game number 1, it's going to be HRE versus French. Anyone like Pro Scouts? Let's rock into it. All right, this is going to be an exciting one because normally when these two clash, Anatan is heavily favored, but last week or two, there's some question marks. You know, Anatan just dropping to Core in the recent EWC tournament. Dumi may be back on form, but he has questions to answer himself. Last week, he fell victim to Myriad 2-0, and it did not look close. Myriad has his number start to finish, but best of 5s are very different. And I'm sure this one will be too, because we start off on Boardland, which, of course, gives Dumu a natural resonance. You know, it's in his being, in his body. I mean, this man channels the bald. So Lord Voldemort clearly has to have the edge here, right? He's even playing a Civ that has sent many bronze, silver, and gold rankers bald as well. It is, of course, the French, one of the most aggressive Civs you'll find in Age of Empires 4. the other side, Anatan has gone for the HRE. This Civ used to just all be about booming, but nowadays we're seeing it actually lean more towards aggro play. As you're seeing here with the Dark Age Rax Rush opening. Yeah, if you do have questions, by the way, considering we've got some Back to Warcraft people in the chat, Warcraft 3 fans, let me know. I think Warcraft 3 people might actually enjoy AoE4 compared to other Age of Empires, because this game has a lot more asymmetry than most. I think the only one that I'd say has more asymmetry than AoE4 is Age of Mythology. Yeah, very different elements to these civs. H3, of course, with the faster moving spearman on the opening. French are always going to try to rush into the goal because they want to get towards Age 2 for their night spam, but this could be annoying. Dumu, he did go for the Ecotech into the wheelbarrow to get better movement speed, so now he has to pull additional workers. Yeah, notice he doesn't mess around here. With HRE, because of the Prelate at the start, this bull boy here has just as much power as Dumu. He's able to buff a lot of the economy by 35%, which allows you to pump out a lot more spearmen. And the cool thing about this opening for HRE is there's no real downside to pumping more spearmen. When you play against French want to build knights anyway. So if they're going to build this cav, if cav is the goal, then you having to spam 4, 5, 6 spearmen isn't a bad thing. Man, this has been annoying. So Dumu, full pullback. Did prioritize that wheelbarrow, but obviously now comes at a cost. And now he needs to save up the food to tech up. I do wonder if Anatan, I think we're probably looking at mine work here. So you have two choices for HRE, right? You have the Arkham, which will buff all of your villages in AoE, or you have the mine work that gives you good timings into your military techs, as well as some unique techs. Anatan, alongside B, has been a really big fan of the mine work builds. And I just realized, actually, like, for all the Warcraft people coming over, they're like, yeah, I know who this guy is on the purple. Well, you don't right now because he's bloody changed his name like he always does. I roll my eyes at this. This is Dumu. I'm actually going to update the nameplate and regret doing so because I'm going to have to keep updating it every single time afterwards. But yeah, for a lot of people coming over, they'll know the Dumu name, but definitely won't be familiar with Anatan. Anatan is a recent breed. I think this has been the nice thing to see with AoE4. That often can be a struggle with some of the older RTSs, is getting new guard versus old guard. Like, Anatan has been a very recent development within the scene. All right, that'll do. That's close enough. So, mine work coming through. So, the thing about mine work, remember, it makes your blacksmith techs cheaper. It makes them faster. Gives you a lot more aggro, actually. It's pretty powerful. I've been a really big fan of this as well. It's just given HRE a lot more dimension that they previously didn't have. Like, they were a very linear civ with the Archon choice before. I really hope that we get to a stage where almost every civ has this kind of diversity between landmark choices. Because feudal landmarks in particular, I think them being rigid is the worst of all. When you have dynamic choices between the two, you get a lot more flexion in terms of how you branch off. Like, it's the whole idea of when you play an RTS, the choices you make earlier individually matter more than the choices you make later, if that makes sense. Like, on a grand scheme. Because when you make them so close to the beginning, they have ripple effects that just leak out. I don't know, just guarding the gold. Doesn't want to give any chance to this, so Dumu is going to be forced to go into the archers to get out of this bind. I imagine, is this going to be pro scouts? It is. Yeah, I wasn't really expecting pro scouts, just because normally when people pro scout on this map, it's with Archon. Logic being is that you pull so much deer back underneath the thing, you're able to just optimize your economy nicely. But usually if you're not going to go pro scouts, that's where Archon feels bad here, because the tree lines are very small, the berry gold options are usually quite split, and remember, Archon only buffs all villagers in a small AoE. Isn't that the meta more than design? Well, design and balance is how you push meta, though. People still will choose where they go, but if something is inherently stronger or weaker, then they will drive towards one over the other, right? So your goal as a developer is to try and get a situation where all choices are individually as tempting as each other. Once you've done that, you've created a dynamic where anything can be viable. Now, easier said than done. Actually achieving what I just described there is much, much harder. And Little fun detail for you guys. Even if you hit that, often the players don't care. Yes, so you can hit a perfect meta where everything is balanced and works, and it doesn't matter. We saw this in Dota 2 a few years back when we had the perfect meta. Every SIB was viable. But then Ice Frog still just dropped the hammer with a new patch, and he was right to do so. Because eventually people would have got bored. People like new shiny stuff. And this here is the second series of the day. We just watched the Vortex versus SAS, and we know that Lucifer will be facing off against his brother Vortex. Should be happening tomorrow. Getting confirmation of that, but I believe it will be on Thursday. First night coming out at 6.5 minutes is pretty rough. Yeah, a nice slowdown here. Doesn't have the Pro Scouts yet either. Meanwhile, other side of it, Pro Scouts is already in. So Anatan is winning the PS game. This is important because of the buff gathering rates. Yeah, much quicker to gather off of these, and even better if you add in an additional prelate to buff up. And yes, indeed, Vortex was able to 3-0. SAS having a bit of a rough time. Wasn't able to get past the early game. But Vortex is renowned for being a bully. A lot of landmarks have stayed the same. You're talking reworks versus tweaks. And I would argue that a lot of landmarks have been tweaked. Reworks are a bit rarer. Minework had a mini rework. a mini Minework. In that it had its unique text changed, right? It used to have very different text for HRE. Yeah, these new ones are pretty cool with this type of comp, though. Like, all pikes definitely could make a lot of sense here. Remember, all pikes gives the +2 damage, which is basically a nice plump, 25% increase in damage for Spearman? Almost the same for Horseman. Wouldn't be a bad idea here against archers. Like, I've seen games where people just overwhelm archers with raw spear horseman count. Yeah, fundamentally, like, on the element of, like, balance, design, etc., like, the biggest, most important thing isn't necessarily perfect balance, but change. But, like, getting closer to a point where any landmark can be viable is quite important. Otherwise, you just get the same thing every single game forever. Like, I think that was one big part that was making people quite sick of HRE. Is like, every game was Arkan. And it was kind of repetitive. Like, kind of repetitive. I mean, it was like banging your head against the wall over and over again for 15 days. Which is not just repetitive. It kind of gets painful. Don't bang your head against the wall on repeat for several days, guys. Or if you do, make sure it's like for a gifted sub or something. A bit back and forth here. What's the win com for these two? Does Anatan want to try and overmax? It feels very difficult to justify that against French just because longer feudal feels better for French for the knight detail. While longer feudal is going to feel really good for HRE because you have to keep adding in more prelates to buff your economy. So you become very inefficient over time, right? You just start falling behind on villages. In a game where you'll already fall behind on villages because the French produce quicker out their town center. 17 seconds versus 20. So, like, you've just got double detail, because remember, every 9 villages, Anatan's going to want to skip building a villager to build a prelate instead to get that 35% buff on 9 workers. So, yeah, like, a ultra-long feudal just doesn't sound very good to me, unless he gets a ridiculous amount of the deer off the map. Like, you know, 75% of the deer pulled back to his base. Awesome with the stab in. No all pikes, by the way. Yeah, he only got undermesh, that's it. Knight's going to try to guard him here, but it's difficult. The gap closes fast. Anatan just sweeping in like a hot knife through butter. Cuts down the archer line. Knight's only left standing. Might be difficult to hang around here with the health bars being so low. He has to get out of dodge. The reshuffle's kind of griefing him, though. Not a good look right now for Dimmu. Horsemen should start to struggle a little now, but the trickling of Spearmen should probably keep Dimmu on the retreat. Oh, man, and look at the micro. I know, he's just going for the cavalry kills. This is the thing. Remember, if these guys get away, they've got Chivalry to heal up. The Horsemen are quicker than Knights, though, which allows him to chase down and deny. critical to get those kills where possible. Not able to hang around for the second, though. Another tree line moved over towards... And how much wood have we got here? Okay, yeah, he's fine. He's got loads. Dimu's spawn is actually really good, even if he didn't get pro scouts for long. He's got triple back berries and the gold. I don't think it's actually feasible on a spawn code logic to cram a corner more than this. That's ridiculous. Yeah, well, Anno just got gold. He got 2 berries, though. It's not too bad. Love to see Anno heal as Horseman. The problem is if you're healing, you're not working, right? Like, you're making an active choice to heal. Sometimes the buff is more important, but there you go. Anno is going to do it. Tops off the bars. Yeah, the problem is it does take a very long time, though. If I'm not mistaken, the more efficient way of doing this is to inspire, heal, but it's very micro-intensive. Because the inspiration has a cooldown. See there? So you'd inspire, then you'd heal a little, then you'd inspire, then you'd heal. But the APM required, it makes it very tedious. Awesome rotation for Anatan. He's got all pikes. Villagers do get ignored, though. Anatan not paying attention. He's too busy aging up. A missed opportunity to get 2 kills easily there, though. Heads into the harder hit. Tree line where the Knights are going to be waiting. Yeah, missed opportunity there. Really important as well, considering he is falling behind Dimu's eco count. Well, he's at least going to have an opportunity to get up here. The age up, very important with this type of build. When you have Mind Work, you have additional prelates. You need them to pick up these relics. Really important with the Ragnets, because instead of getting 80 gold a minute, you can get the 160 gold a minute. The weird part to me, though, is that Anatan has not started. No, as far as I can see, all of his prelates, are they at home? Seems like it. Yeah, so no prelates moving for relics straight away, despite the tech up timing. This is meant to be one of the big advantages of going Mind Work over Archon, is because you're forced to produce additional monks, you can move them out early to pick up the relics. This one's going to be moving out now. Second one into the center, but the Knights do see that. Good pinch. That was a great grab there. 3 spears able to get the Knight kill. Even if they die now, they've paid for themselves.
Now you're mine.
What is up, Lash? Dude, it's a crazy day today. Thank you very much. Hello. All my Germans coming through the raids today. First Neo, now Lash. Hope you guys had a good time. And we're ready to have a day over here. We have got Dimu versus Anatan, best of 5. Start the series. After this, we'll also then be going across to our Logitech G Play event, the co-stream. So plenty of fun things happening today. Horseman to get the dive in. One more tap for the kill. Second kill netted for Anatan. He could even dive further, and he will. Yeah, because he wants to kind of throw these away now. Get what value you can. Not that much value, though. Gets the 3rd kill, but it does cost him most of the cavalry. Shaky position, actually. Dimu now on the edge of his base with a substantially larger force. Healthy one as well. Archer plus Knights into basically Spearman. We have got Knights queued up by Anatan, but he needs time. Barded armor won't save you yet. Speed on the spears is crazy. Oh, yes. Zuma boys. I love the day that the developers decided to give the marching drills tech that increases your movement for free to HRE from the start. They're like, oh, this won't change much. It changed everything, guys. If you remember, it took HRE from a middling C tier civ to an S tier civ almost instantly. Proving that movement speed truly is a king in RTSs. Movement speed and range are typically the 2 most important stats in the game. When it comes to like military influence, definitely. With eco, you can make an argument for things like gathering. And what is up, Binion? Thank you very much for the sub, mate. And welcome to the swarm. Appreciate it. Remember, guys, get those prime subs in. Costs you absolutely nothing. And supports us so much. Archers, Dimu. The good news is he's not over-investing, right? Because TikTok goes the clock. It's only one relic home so far. He's been doing a good job of intercepting, denying. But he needs to get up and out of this age now. This Knight Spear force is getting so big. Oh my god. Those are vet spears, folks. With all pikes, they hit for 11 damage. They hit harder than the archers. And now just rotates around the back, looking for the kills on the Knights. He pins him. He forces the mosh pit. French Knights now just trying to mirror the move to block out the HRE Knights. But the Spearmen sweeping through that back line. It's an expensive fight. You get enough cav kills to make it worthwhile, though. It feels like it. The health bars ain't looking good. No, Dimmu tries to scrap another one along from behind. Dimmu gets the charge in just in time. But the cost is so damn high. All Knights practically dead. Turns around for the clash. Not the most clean of ideas. And a Royal Institute now on the way. Oh, man. Your pulse has got to be going after that. That was absurdly risky from Dimmu, but he knew if he had to turn and fight, he was dead. He made the gamble. He made it work. Because, guys, if he turned around or delayed at all, this Knight count would be -8. He would have lost over half of his cavalry. So what you're saying is he would have went from 16 down to 8. Oh, that's lame. That sounds like 4-core to me. Don't have to worry about that. 8-core, baby. Reminder, we're working with AMD. 9700X. Go check it out. Click on the link. We made that work. Thank you, Dimmu, for having exactly 16 Knights. Oh, but this does not look nice. No. Anatan. I imagine now we're going to be seeing him getting barded armor. Yep, already has it. So he's got the extra armor. Reminder, this gives Knights an extra 2 melee, 2 ranged. They're ridiculous. I know. 2 more relics down the way home. The third one, the fourth one rather, is kind of close. I think he's fine. Like, this is a 4-relic game. Dimmu can't contest relics anymore. He's too worried about this. He never walled himself in. He's trying to switch into Arbitrier. That's a slow process, folks. You don't tend to get mass crossbows quickly. And also, there's a big forfeiture. When you make this type of play, you're no longer controlling the map. It's just weird to see Royal Institute used in a way that you have to play defensive like this. I'm trying to step up now, but with Raw Bloodlight is not complete yet, it may be quite risky to do this. And what is up, KJD? I see you with the Prime sub. Thank you very much. I know there's more primers out there. Slam them in. Or sub normally. That helps as well. Props to Dimmu, actually. He's been dodging that awkward fight. Now with Royal Bloodlines kicking in. I don't know if you want to fight on your own, though. 17 Knights, 15 Spearmen. Like, it sounds like a bad idea. Because the other thing that's interesting here is you're getting an extra 80 HP. Your opponent's getting an extra 2 armor. Now, the reason that's important is in these fights, it should take you roughly, let's say, 10 hits, maybe 11 to get kills. So let's say 10. That's extra 20 HP per Knight for HRE in the engagement. Now, it's nowhere near Royal Bloodlines, but you see how it starts to put a dent in your really advantaged timing. Then you add in the spears on top, and it starts to look ugly. But if Dimmu can actually anchor a fight with the Arbitrier, that's where this starts to look really good. He's got Gambesons coming in. He can also go for crossbow stirrups, which will give him the increased attack speed. Have we seen Black Riders in a tournament game? We have indeed. We've had them in the KPMMs. I think we've had them in some other teams as well. It looked pretty impressive. Situational, but impressive. Interesting thing here, by the way, because Anatan did go for the mine work, the barded armor does apply to the Black Riders as well, aka the gunners. I just call them Cossacks. Not Cossacks, sorry. I call them, oh my god. I forgot their name. Dragoons. Because instantly they remind me of the Dragoons from Cossacks. bit of burn pressure. We've got double springald though. Difficult to dive. Nano, well, he sees an opening into the French base. Ballsy to leave just the spearman to guard. There's forcing reactions. Dumu has to give chase here. 28 knights, but almost 20 of them stuck guarding at home. Knights are creeping in a lull. Give me a remove. What's Anatan's wink on here? Ah, he's going to go crossbows too. So trying to get kind of out of knights. And oh, the knights get in! Dumu! It was steering exactly where Anno needed to go. What a hit. 10 down. He's lucky it's not more. That was a sick strike. The crazy thing is that Dumu was chasing it the entire time, but we never saw him move away. We never saw him try to shift to safety there. That was ridiculous. And now what do you do? I mean, Dumu, it felt like he was scaling towards this all-in time really nicely. Now down by, well, back up to down by 8, courtesy of the faster producing TC, but this is still pretty rough. And reminder, guys, this is an all-in type feeling. You don't have Guildhall to bail you out. And what is up better than Surge? Thank you very much for the Prime sub, mate. Welcome back. Oh, just in time to make sure ads don't get in the way of this beauty, because this fight is gonna be an absolute bloodbath. Triple Ram now moving in, but this time there's a castle drop. And it has been empowered by a relic. Anna refuses to budge. It's really stake to claim here. Villagers will seek shelter. Prelate's going to pull back. Rams lead on in. I mean, he's pretty much wearing his economy in his sleeve here. Not just the gold. 3 of the 4 Regnitz relics are in the middle of the map right now. I respect the hell out of this. None of this pussyfooting, building it back at home and just feeling safe with my gold. Now he realizes he needs all hands on deck, but Dumu, noticing that, now pulls away towards the main. Vicious idea. If Dumu's position is even off slightly, it means he'll be cut off. Remember, the knights can run away, but the arbitrary really can't. Dumu feels like he's going all in. We knew this time was coming. He was hoping he'd be able to find some sort of chip damage to justify it more easily. That never happened, though. And now we're talking about even Steven's knight count. Rob Bloodline is definitely a difference maker. Crossbows on both sides. It becomes a muddied affair. Initial clash awkward. Dumu didn't have the crossbowman in range. And Anno's now brute forcing it. Tries to pull away from the spearman. Dumu starts stepping back, but the knight count is shrinking fast. Down to 20 in total, and now the exposure, the arbitrary, unguarded. Anno, no hesitation to jump on top of them. Knight's just not dying fast enough. Spearman then get the block out. Pavis drop's going to be there. Anatan has got the military lead still. More troopers coming in. Defenders advantage, a big deal here. And Dumu, the knight count is falling fast. The arbitrary are going to be unguarded. He can't stand here anymore. Anno will be able to break him. Damn, what a game. Dumu, this was everything. He has no food income behind this. It's a double up on food for Anatan. And Hong Kong to victory. I mean, Dumu, he's got crossbows left over. But Anno, has he got a weakness on food? He's got a few farms here. Okay, so he's actually... No. Okay, they're in the same situation right now. Still, the buff from the prelates plus the relics is a really big deal. So although Anno is weak on food right now, he can rebolster quicker. Dumu, I think he feels it as well. He knows, okay, if I back away, I'm screwed. I need to keep pushing. And what an advantage this would be. Castle drop now coming in, but there's no one left to protect it. A crazy game. Crazy to think how different it could have maybe been. Dumu, a valiant effort, but Anatan will take the lead. Dumu has been struggling this matchup for a while. Not the Sith, but the player. But he's still got some games to come back in, but a crazy way to open up this set. Damn, that was a wild one. think I know what we're calling that as well. If that ends up on the YouTube, that'll be the wall has him trapped. Oh, man. All right. So, game number 2, we are going to be heading in for an English Delhi matchup. Is this Bazaar? No, it's Altai, okay. I didn't check if Bazaar got banned. I was kind of hoping it wouldn't. Dumu's been the only person playing Bazaar. Shout out to Benny Boy for that, actually. But game number 2, English versus Delhi on Altai. Coming Altai. Let's hop in, guys. All right, I'm not changing his name for the arrest. I can't be bothered. So tedious. There needs to be a tournament tag for custom games. That's what 2 has. You can have your pub name and then you have a tournament name. But are we the right way around? We are not. Let me flip the score. All right, hasn't this been a disaster matchup for English for the longest time imaginable? Maybe Altai can be the difference, though, folks. We head into game number 2. It is that map. English love this place. Altai, defensive map, and maybe a good spawn, actually. 2 tree lines to kind of hunker him in. Gold on the Ford might be problematic. On the other side, Anatand, the curse of the English. It's going to be a Delhi pick. Delhi. Definitely an interesting pick on this map. We've seen 1 Delhi pick so far in Altai this week. It led to one of the most wild and probably the most epic game we've seen. Isn't the Logitech event starting? No, it starts at 16:45 GMT, which is in an hour. So we've got 1 more hour to go. So we might actually... let's do a little bit of fast forward just to be safe. Well, if the early game makes sense. So what's the idea? Is Doom just going to try a good old-fashioned Lombo rush? Because usually, like, the idea is doing Lombos into Delhi is dangerous because the Ghazi spam. But we're on a very tight map. I think a map that's this thin, like, you actually could probably get away with just Lombo and a few spears to rush across. Problem is, like, there's not much to harass out. This is a great spawn. Berries, gold on the backside. Dome of Faith coming through. I feel like Anno has got a lot of good safety here. Maybe the weak point would be trees. Both tree lines being fought against English is pretty tough. So actually could be his downfall here if he's not careful. How's the tooth? Thanks to Cody, not as bad, but I can kind of feel it. I'm also feeling it in my head, actually. Yeah, if those don't know, we've got like a really bad tooth. This morning when I woke up, it actually, it hurt to the touch. It still does. I am now getting worried it's going to be a root canal situation. Yesterday it hurt, but it didn't hurt to the touch at all. Whereas today it most definitely does. Go whip around for your dentist bill? Jesus, dude. Like, don't get me started. It's good. If it's going to be private, which it probably is, if it's a root canal on the back tooth, then it's going to run me several £100. I'm not looking forward to that bill. Okay, so sheep haul, how are we looking? 16 sheep coming in, 11 on the other side. So Anasat doing pretty well there, but that's to be expected. He does start on the berries. And the nice thing is on this map, you have the deer to inflate you. By the way, Abiv Kingsfield. America is a cool $2,000 or more. Yeah, but don't you have, like, isn't that covered by, like, health insurance? Isn't that part of the process? I'm pretty sure dental, like, you have dental insurance, right? Whereas in the UK, we don't really have, like, you can, but it's different because NHS and blah, blah, blah. But King coming out. Ghazi being spawned by Anatand. It's a horseman build from Dimu. Oh, no, that's interesting. Only good jobs give dental. But don't, like, but, wait, do all jobs, I'm trying to remember, in the US, do all jobs have, like, medical insurance attached as part of the package? Or a lot of jobs have that? I thought that was just something you guys pay for yourself. Ah, health insurance is always tied to your job. In fairness, like, didn't Obama try and give you guys, like, a little taste of the NHS system, but then there was, like, a lot of molding by some people? You guys could have had it. I feel like it's weird when I talk to your average like American I meet. They actually like they don't mind the idea of healthcare being free, but then when you get into the nitty gritty of like the public like forum, there's always this really big aggressive resistance to it. It's a bit silly. I still remember when a certain Dota 2 caster that I know went to America and he got high. And the strand that he got high on tends to make you paranoid. So he's smoking. And oh, that villager might be smoked. Whoop. Horseman. He actually might ego child. So this guy, yeah, so he's smoking. And his heart is starting to palpitate. He's like, oh my god, my heart, dude. Like, I think I'm like having a heart attack. And like his friends are like, nah, you're fine. And he just keeps going like, nah, dude, I think I'm having a heart attack. It's like, I need to phone an ambulance. And the American guys will go, trust me, you don't want us to phone you an ambulance. Like, no, guys, I need an ambulance, please. And like, in the end, they have to give in because he's panicking so much. So they phone an ambulance, take him to the hospital. There's absolutely nothing wrong with him. Then he gets the bill. He didn't have travel or medical insurance. So by the time he went back the next year for the other tournament, he was still doing the repayment plan for that ambulance. It is wild. I think it was several thousand for the emergency call, basically. I think what drives me nuts about my country is that, like, I can have a legitimate issue with a tooth that's just happened because it happens. And I'll have to go private and pay a lot for it. But someone in my country can be an idiot and binge drink, need to have their stomach pumped in a hospital, and that's free. That's messed up. What's pretty cool here, though, is Dimmu, this mass horseman builds. Like, Anatan, I don't know if he's really expecting this. I mean, it's the weirdness of horsemen with English, because you don't want to build spears, right? If you build spears as Delhi, your opponent can build lombos. He's trying to do everything to resist that opportunity being given over to Dimmu. I'm doing a horseman on a map like Altai as well. Like, Altai is very hard to raid on because of how linear the map is. Ben doing a great job of it. Now has the Bloomery coming through. That's a nice DPS burst. Extra 10% damage coming through. As American healthcare provided, there are a lot of concerns with universal healthcare. But yeah, because the problem is now there's so many people in that country, like the bloat would make it very hard to take the toll of making universal healthcare a thing, right? Like, it's the same thing. Like, you know when someone disagrees with the policies of a country, they're like, it needs to change and update. It's like, if you changed everything tomorrow, it just would break the country. It's that type of thing. Yeah. Like, I really should... I don't know. We need to earn more money so I can just go and get a private, like, dental plan. So I think NHS dental is a scam in the UK, really. It's pretty bad. Gazi. Just poking out. We have got a tech up out of Anatan, but Dimmu, one hand in the pot, one on the trigger, right? Like, he's still skilling more horsemen, but he's kind of holding reserves. And this is a dangerous location. Anno doing it on the front. Yeah, it's seen. And remember, he's diving the other side of the map, so he doesn't have an answer to this right now. Horsemen dive into the base. House of Learning has been denied. He can't complete it like this. He actually might get forced to cancel it. Yeah, all Dimmu needs to do is target over onto the House of Learning. He'll take out the spears first. Nowhere for them to go. Does he go for the burn? Yep, he's starting it. Oh my god. Is he about to do this? An English win over Delhi? This is pretty sick. Remember, it's just a trickle of damage, but it matters. And Textile's at least there, so Anatan will be safe in some regard, but he can't produce more spearmen, remember. He's got no food income right now, so if Dimmu just keeps pumping horsemen, he can end it here. New wave arrives. The villagers aren't building it. Guys, he's losing this landmark to 3 horsemen. Oh my god, Shiv's now come out. Garrison shuffle from Anatan. Textiles has been helping, but it can only do so much against this. Especially the Bloomer is just so smart from Dimmu. There's no melee armor coming in from Anno. 3 Spearmen do arrive. Okay, maybe, just maybe he survives this now, but Dimmu now has a 7 worker lead. He's denied Sacred Sites. Anatan has no real standing army. He's got a sliver of Spearman and Ghazi. This is a wild game out of Ben. Color me impressed. Wow. House Alarm being rushed up. He's like, oh, thank God, he stopped murdering me. Yeah, just for a moment, though. We'll be back soon. Why not right-click the lamb up with everything? Because the villagers would have started shivving him down. He had the right idea, though. Like, just send a few and just try and commit the rest into killing and just slowly burn it down. Because then if your opponent has to cancel, like, he loses so much resource anyway. But, wow, he can't do anything. He's got no food income. A 12-minute GG forced in an English Delhi matchup is wild. You don't see that. Whole conspiracy theory on how root canals are a scam? Is there? Well, that's because some people have, like, bad experiences. Like, when I had my first root canal, my mum was telling me, like, my uncle, he went and had it, walked out, and it just fell out. Whereas I've had a root canal that was done, I think it was 3 years ago, and it's been absolutely fine. So, yeah. It's unfortunately one of those mixed bag things. It's not like they do the procedure, and then if it fails, you get a refund, right? That's one of the sucky elements of it all. So, good strike back. Up next, I'm hoping we got enough time. We might have to start using some fast forward just to be safe. Especially now that this is pivoting a little. Next up, we are heading into Cliffside. Yeah, dude, we're definitely, we've got like, what, 45, 50 minutes? I'm probably going to have to use some speed up here. All right, you feel a need for speed? All right, let's get speedy. Let's get speedy. Let's get frisky. We hop into game number 3 of this series between Dimmu and Anatan. Dimmu just blew my mind. He's on Japan this time, but he just beat the Delhi in 12 minutes as the English. That should be some sort of record at this level of play. Welcome back to the channel, folks. A reminder, click that link you see there from AMD. Big shout out to them for sponsoring us so we can bring you content like this. KPMM, midweek muster, week number 6, quarterfinals. And we've got a Japan versus Mali game, and it is going to start with the aggro. A little bit of 4x speed for the moment, just because we're on a tight schedule here. But this is interesting, right? We've seen a lot of people just stop doing the Dark Age rushes against Mali because of this outpost play. They set up an outpost, then they set up a mill, and they're safe here on their pit mine, which they need to be because it generates their gold. Dimmu says, to hell with that, with a spawn like this. Oh, come on. And what's up, Aaron? Thank you very much for the bits. Guys, this is... Are you kidding me right now? Talk about hitting the perfect shot. Picks a Dark Age rush civs against Malians, and Malis get this spawn. Oh, this is brutal. And because he's already gone for the outpost, he can't really go for a Saharan trade network. That feels suboptimal. This means you're never really getting a second pit mine. You could maybe go out here, but it's very forward. Yeah, Mantis going to be coming in. We'll go 4x speed now to catch up into the Dark Age. As a reminder, we have got that Logitech G Play event happening in 50 minutes, so we need to be ready for that. I think root canals are good legit, but whenever you're messing with nerves, there's no guarantee. Yeah. Also, gravity. This time will be a top 2, so just nah. I don't know. Like, my mum and my partner were just like, just have an extraction. I'm like... So my worry about extraction is, I remember being told about it, like looking this up and being told about it as well, is like, there is a risk that it changes the shape of your jaw and your face. Because when you take a tooth out, what happens is other teeth then move to fill the gap. So that can alter the shape of your face. Now, I don't have a perfect face. But I don't think shifting the jawline would help it in the right direction. I don't know, maybe? I'm trying to think which way my face is wonky. Maybe that's the strat, guys. If your face is not, like, perfectly symmetrical, you just need to pull teeth out the side to balance. Okay, so opening the age, Anatan has got archers plus the sofa, but it's already fortified on the outpost, so Dimu, a little bit surprised. He actually did open with one Onabigeisha. Looks like that was probably a bait, though. Yeah, just opening with one to force your opponent to do something different. Now creeping stables behind. Unfortunately for him, Anatan does sniff that one out. Took out when you were a teenager, now there's no more gap. Yeah, it just makes sense. The only thing I can think is, like, maybe it wouldn't be so bad to extract because I still have my wisdom teeth up there. And you know how they kind of, like, they kind of push in a, like, off direction? So maybe the wisdom teeth would just then move to fill. This is an interesting build, though. Like, Dimu... It's weird that he even went the one Bugeisha, considering your opponent, like, would have built archers anyway. But I think the idea is he wanted to look like he was scaling at mass to force mass archers and then creep horsemen. But Anno is not tricked that easily. Nah. Lad was switched onto it straight away. Ram is going to be coming in. So Anatan will be able to reclaim. But we don't have pro scouts. I would be surprised if he went for it now. But Dimu, you can see the intent. He wants castle. Yeah, he's got 4 on gold. He's stockpiling resources. The warrior scouts are proving to be a nuisance. Remember, these aren't just normal scouts. They hit 7 damage and have good healing. Going to Dansk from Norway to get laser whitening on your teeth. Interesting. Laser whitening. I've thought about having, like, the polishing, the full, like, I can't remember the name of it. It's meant to make your teeth 3 grades of whiter than what they are. Because, like, the weird thing about being a Brit is, like, I mean, my teeth, like, most people say, like, I've got good teeth. They're fine, they're white. But compared to American teeth, they're not white. So when you're in an international show, it's almost like people are like, oh, that's yellow teeth. It's not. But because you haven't got, like, super shiny, I'm a grandpa in an advert wearing a denture levels of white, you kind of get judged. Two white teeth look off, right? Like, it's a bit disingenuous. That's why I think, like, the 3 tones of white whiter than your current, it, like, makes sense. That method of, like, whitening makes sense, because then you're not just going, like, when I think of, like, pure white teeth, I think of the dog, you know, like, the dog memes of, like, the smiling dog, of what, like, dog would look like with human teeth, that sort of thing. All right, so we have got an Onabigeisha switch up coming in here. So he is actually going to do it. Oh, dude, this is wild. There's Sofa as well, which is what... Sofa Archers is what surprises me about this from Dimu. This feels very unusual of a comp. The Horsemen, at least, are going to feel sick against the Archers. Yumi, not so great against Sofa. I mean, for Anno, like, looking at what he's up against here, just scaling Sofa is kind of a win, though. Problem is, there's what you know and there's what you see. I am surprised Dimu didn't just go castle, though. Because usually a little bit worried if you play a long feudal that Malians are just going to add in cows. But props to him is a great read. Like, we're watching Malians eat berries in this game. That's how bad it is. First cow now only coming out at 11.5 minutes. He just keeps stacking pressure up. Archer numbers are at least looking good for Anno. I'm a bit worried if Dimu just full steers into cavalry now, he'll be able to outnumber, though. However, the thing that's really good for Anatan here is Archer Sofa is pretty much the perfect composition for Mali. When you're going into Castle Age, like, if you had to choose a generic 2-unit comp you want in most games, like, this is it. It is the one. Yeah, it's like the go-to 2 units, right? The 2 crown kings, if you can have them. That's got a fairly nicely hunkered down location to go for it now. The problem is Dimu should definitely be a lot faster. It's interesting the way that Dimu's been macroing, actually. This entire time, he's been 1 foot in the castle camp and 1 foot in the reinvest. So he obviously has been looking for something. He's not happy with what he's got so far. Right? He hasn't had the thing happen that says, yep, that's an age up. Yeah, usually when you're talking about age ups and a map like Cliffside in particular, it's a negotiation. Like, have you built enough? No, build more. Slow down the timing. Nano. Big ball of archers. Sofa count is going higher. But I think that's it. Yeah, Domu, this is going to happen now. Pretty good time to go castle as well. 27 Yumi getting buffed up is a big deal. Horseman, Spearman not going to matter that much. Under Bigasha, I wouldn't expect him to scale into just because of his opponent ages than Sofa laugh in the face of Bigasha. There could be an argument like there's a timing here with Bigasha where your opponent can't tech. Therefore, he'll be stuck with heavy cav that has 2 melee armor against probably 9 plus damage in melee from Bigasha. Reminder, Oni Bigasha, they have low base damage, but their attack speed is insane. They attack every second. Less than. Okay, so we'll 2x a little bit here. There's been some poke raids, but nothing that's accomplished much for Anatan. His own age up is going to be a lot weaker as well. Like, once he hears it, he's going to need to. And oh, he dives in. He actually catches him as he's building up. So the Sofas dive on through. A little bit of idle time achieved here, but will inevitably be pushed out of the base. Yeah, so minus what? 2 Sofa, almost 3 to slow the tech. That hasn't really improved his age up. No, oh my god, Anno, he ejected the cow, so he had the food for an age up. This is an empty Lani. There is 1 cow in existence, and he is waiting to be harvested. Stupid cow. Like, look at you just standing there, your friends all dead around you, and you're just standing there. Come on. This is... Those ranches are empty, man. We've seen this ejection before. We've actually seen it win games for people. Does it feel like a winning play here, though? I mean... You have a tech up. Your army we don't talk about. No, this is a big disadvantage. Dimu. Look at his Yumi count. Compared to the Marlene Archer count. Sofa need to be priority upgraded, and that's a good read by Anatan. He does exactly that. Veterancy for Sofa coming in a few seconds. Villagers getting targeted down, though. Archers just getting chased away here. The veterancy up. He's also got damage 2 on the way. This actually might be too difficult for even Sofa to fight. God. Still maintaining that 10 archer lead, and this is only wave number 1. Sofa now jump in. Oh, they're just too squishy. The imported armors doesn't complete in time. He loses all heavy cavalry with 5 seconds to go on the +2 armor. Archer's now in trouble. Veterancy just came through, but they don't exist anymore. And Dumu has smashed this timing. Wow. What a read. Ben was working towards this for so long in that feudal age, scaling up towards this count, and gets the immediate payoff. Villagers getting chased away. It's going to buy some time dragging him away from the base. I've actually got 1 Warrior Scout going for glory. Might be difficult for him to actually recover the game for Anatan. And now rushing to cows. But for now, Anatan's economy is pretty weak. Okay, can we please deal with this? Guys, like, it's becoming less of a meme and more of a concern. There we go. Yumi do head over. Another worker down, though. This guy's going for the glory, man. Finally, shifts come out. He got... Was that 3 worker kills or 2? I think it might have been 2. Still, even with that damage, Anatan finds himself down by 5 workers. Cow's going to pad him a little bit. But now we've got even more tempo on the way. Level 2 Daimyo. This is an important one, folks. Right now, Daimyo has to choose between buffing the archers or the knights. With this, he can buff the knights, the archers, and the archers. I don't have a brain issue. I don't have short-term memory loss. I meant to say archers twice, because if you get the Yumi Bannerman twice, you get buffed twice. 1 from a dead Bannerman and 1 from an alive. I wonder if Dumu's going to go for that. Yeah, I do feel like a lot of pros have maybe been trying to avoid it, because it's very clearly a bug. It's a very dirty bug. It's not one that's banned in tournaments because it's very hard to police or maintain or whatever. Is that a bug or a feature? Yeah, just make them normal Yumis, right? There's Uma. Good guy Ben's like, I don't need a trick to win. I'm just that good. And then he's like, you know, like he's like, I'm just that good. And then he gets the comb out and he does like the sweep through the head and he goes, wait a second. Samurai controlling the flanks. I know he has got a lot of sofa. And we'll be looking to rotate with them. Can he find that connect? This is a good start. Finding a few workers here. No Eurosure draw. Okay, it just came in. So he will be inflating his village account now. This is a tricky hit. Yeah, his Mad Samurai, they're kind of out of position, actually. Only 2 or 3 of them arriving back home, so he's going to need to counter dive here. Does spot the workers, but not worth the chase. Instead, dive the main. So far, still rotating. Good micro Dumu getting out of the way as he dives now into the not so empty Lani, but definitely not full. No, he's going to free the cows. Be free, little bison. Be free. To die? No, it actually doesn't kill them. Anyone else, when they hear the word bison, think of the Street Fighter character? Or is that just me? Okay, so we still have some raid attempts coming in. Back on the stone again. The Sofa are proving to be a nuisance here. Why can't you garrison animals? Because they don't have souls. Whoa. Nice Gavo on the sides. Anatan actually did make good of this in the end. You could even think about... Can you pit mine this? No, don't pit mine. This is horrible. Tower can barely fit 5 people. That's a myth, considering you can get 5 tower elephants in a tower. So... checkmate. Okay. See, the problem is cows, like, they're not too greedy, whereas elephants are little fatties. So, like, if you dangle a Twinkie in front of them, they'll just jump in anything, you know? Also, everyone knows that Delhi, like, secretly, they've got, like, Bruce Almighty levels of powers. You know when he makes the monkey come out the guy's butt? Kind of like that in reverse. Whereas Malians, they don't have that type of deityism. They don't have that type of superpower. The best they can do is whistle to a cow. But they do have really nice bells. How is this game not just over? Malian cows, Lamau? I mean, good raids from Anatan. I think the raids from Anno is the only reason this isn't done yet. You've done a good job buying some time. Still, this is going to be a 5 relic game for Dimu. I think Dimu maybe just over-invested in the Yumi a little bit. Didn't have the next step ready, but now he does. Mounted Samurai, he's also got the Onimusha getting added in. He's answering the Sofa in the coming minutes. Cow does indeed have 500 food to it. So you basically can trade 90 gold for 500 food with a rapid gathering rate. Sofa, I mean, whoop-de-doo. He's done his job, guys. The 5 relics are home. Horsemen do sneak out on the flank. Won't be able to find the workers, though. Wait, he actually did pit. Oh, God, that's such a bad pit. 63 gold pit line. Every little counts, guys, I swear. Sofa. I think Addo's played this really well, actually. I'm still quite concerned about the main fight. I don't think he's been prepping for that. He's been so fixated on raid that he's never really been able to think about the direct attack. And that's dangerous on Cliffside. Cliffside's a really, really short map. Doesn't take long to reach each other's bases. And you see that Dimu, oh my God, he's on the verge of just going in. The Rams. He looks for the entry. I know, he has to keep the Sofa at home. He stopped raiding. They've all been cleared up. We're sticking on 2 XP because I don't want to be late for this event. We still got 1, maybe 2 more games to go. If we can't fit all 5, we'll just come and stay. We'll stay around to at the end. Let's see if we can get it done. Big fight coming through. Sofa, jump on top of the Rams. Does expose him to the Yumi mass. Mad Samurai jump in as well. Anno doesn't want this fight, understandably so. There's Onimusha littered in there, which are, of course, anti-armor units. And now the Yumi find the underbelly. Anatan, archer count is shrinking so fast in the face of this dive. And Dumu poised perfectly to go up to match point in this best of 5. What a way to do it. Just a dominant opening and follow through for most of this game. Yumi are going to have to start a step back for the moment. He did end up losing the Bannerman there. Died pretty deep. Anno, I mean, he's losing the food game pretty bad here. Even with the cows in the ranch, it's only 12. And the problem here is the Daimyo level 2, the food buff is big. Not to mention the berries on the flank. With level 3, the Fudasashi, it's a huge influx of food. Which is what is allowing Dumu to reinflate this quickly. Impressive as well, because I feel like recently in this matchup, we've been seeing Malians with a pretty big edge over Japan as the game scales later. But Dumu never really let it reach that point. More troopers trickling in. I mean, it looks like he's losing these fights at first, but it's just the next wave and next wave to consider. It's too much. GG called. It will be a Japanese win. And what a way to do it. That's like the saddest saddest villain you'll see. Let's get ready to hop into the next game. It's going to be Kalauga. And Benny Boy has a Knights Templar pick that has me a wee little bit worried. Anno fumbled his cow boom. I mean, he couldn't really get it. You got a good Scottish accent? I like my accents, thank you. You got to do them all. It's quite fun, going to the different countries. Alrighty then. Alrighty boys, in we go. I don't know why I'm Irish this time. Knights Templar somehow is not banned. This is outrageous. And this is also a match point situation as Dumu is leading 2-1 and gets KT. Who's KT? Don't know her. But I do know Knights Templar. And when water is involved in the equation, they are the bully. They are the beast. Anatan tries to whip out the Ottomans as a solution, though. We're going to go for the 4 XP for the early game because we have got an upcoming co-stream we need to make sure we're not late to. But yeah, Kalauga is going to be the name and place here. Remember, guys, this is the map with the rivers that you can fish on, which is exactly what Ottomans are going to be doing. An efficient play for them, actually, as they only pay 90 wood for their buildings, the docks, the racks, etc. It's a pretty cool, actually. It goes racks plus the dock, mirrored by Dumu going into his own racks, which is pretty efficient with Knights Templar due to how good their gathering is on wood. And now he will be following up with some fishing play of his own. Yeah, so we basically got Dark Age Spear Rush into just block and then read. Which is what I would have expected here, to be honest with you. Yeah, they'll keep inflating, but it makes sense. For Dumu, you want to have that burst where you pull ahead on spear count, but you don't want to commit long-term, because committing long-term against Ottomans equal Vizier Point. And that Vizier Point would give them the healing to just beat you. So you had the right idea. Didn't overstay his welcome. Do AoE4 DLCs ever go on sale? I believe they have at times. I mean, in fairness to the devs, didn't they, a while ago, they done something pretty cool where they changed the pricing of the default edition, right? When they made it an anniversary edition, I think they decreased it. Yeah, because AoE4 these days is £30. It used to be 50. Nice intercept there. Gets the kill on the fishing boat. Runs down the dock. Minimum Patricia on the way, and the crazy thing is Dumu hasn't actually teched yet. Be a burn on his gold. He has got Spearman advantage though, so like this is a payoff that he should be able to actually easily access the next stage now, while also denying food from his opponent. What's interesting about this is spamming spears like this isn't necessarily a bad idea because your opponent wants Sipahi. What's impressive about it though is that Anatan never saw it coming. He would have just kept scaling happily because you could have got the healers with your Vizier points. Not going to be the case here. Kingdom of France. Hold on. Okay, that very much surprises me. Kingdom of France here against Otto. I thought he would probably just go for Hospitaller. Just to keep his workers safe. I guess with the extra food, like the idea here is you can afford knights, your opponent can't because he now doesn't have fishing. Yeah, pretty rough game that this is turning into now for Anno. Does set up another dock. Demo ship is coming out, but it's tricky to get demo ship kills, guys. All Dimu has to do is just walk inland. All he has to do is walk inland. All he has to... No. What's an inland? How do I get one? Oh, no. Come on. He loses half of his spears? Dimu, stop responding to the prime subs in chat, mate. It's not the time for it. Oh, disastrous beginning of the age. So Anatan will be able to secure his dock. He denies the opponents because he had the right idea. He spread the spears out. He didn't let a demo ship play counter him. Still, Dimu does have the south side pond, right? He's safe there. He's got the river set up. And he also has now got pilgrims coming out. And the minimum Madrissa berry bushes are 175 food. And you eat through them 50% quicker. I can't believe that. Remember Dimu losing 80 elite knights to the broken demo ships? Oh, I can do you one better. Was it Beastie or Lucifron or someone that ended up losing 4 transport ships, each having 16 Streltsy on them, on Boulder Bay? So he lost 64 Streltsy in transport ships to demos. Oh, those are the days. Archer switch coming in. This is going to be interesting, actually, because both these civs can do quite well with archers. Like, Ottomans, they get the buff with the meta, but for Knights Templar, it's just the better wood gathering. They're insane for this. Yeah, eat into the tree line. Don't waste any wood on lumber camps. Pretty big deal. Get food while eating trees. It's high in fiber. And it looks like Anno is trying to intercept on the pilgrimage, but this is difficult because of the sacred sites on each side. Optimally, Dimu always wants this one because it's further away from his base. Credit to him, it's working. Even has the archer ship coming in to guarantee that. No switch into Sipahi is a little bit surprising from Anno. I wonder if it will change once he has a few more fishing boats out. Spears just with the free dive. There should be some new archers coming, though. Yeah, so annoying idle time. It's worth it for Anno to just at least idle this out and just get away. Even if he doesn't get kills. Not so worth if he starts losing the boys. A nice Templar. Wait, is he just going castle? We actually might have a castle play on the way from Dimu. I actually don't mind that idea. I think it's pretty good for them. You play into castle, and then... Could you go Angevin? Angevin's really good when you have surplus food, and he does have fishing. I do wonder, though, with the way your opponent's scaling... Is it better to go to Noah? You're not doing Castile because we like winning games, you know? I'm actually curious. Have I got anyone in chat who recently tried Castile? And if so, how much did you regret it? Like buyer's remorse, be honest. Like, how bad was it? Was it like you'd rip off a foot to be able to refund? Because it should be you'd rip off a foot to be able to refund. Pilgrim, nice denial. And I know he did allocate towards Imams and Anatolian. So yeah, I like this then for Dimu. I think with healing being there, like you could snipe them out of the archers, but I think the concern here is you're just encouraging Sipahi by going more archers. Probably a better idea just to get a handful of men-at-arms out here. Or Angevin spears, which is even better against this comp. Like, if you think about what Ottomans are building, the last thing they want to see entering the fights is heavy spin. Pretty much just puts a full stop in your plan. Or we could go for... Wait, really? Okay, I guess maybe Dimu feels he doesn't have enough food. So remember, Genoa... The thing about Genoa is the generic answer to your concerns. When you go Genoa, it gives you the option of going for anything because of the gold gen. Whereas when you go for Angevin, like, you basically have to Angevin to use spears. Whereas Genoa, you don't have to build the Genoese crossbowman to get value out of it. You just need to eventually get access to Sacred Sites. So we'll speed it up a bit. I know she'd be looking to punish. After all, your opponent is teched up in your face. At this point, you have to be like a bull. How dare he flagrantly swing that cape, that red cape in front of me. It's time to do something about it. Hardship is actually wasting a lot of Anno's hand's time. Men-at-Arms getting queued up. Is Anno committing? I mean, I kind of feel like he is committing to the age longer, but not really finding value there. However, now it's changing a little. Sipahi catch the workers on the back. They even get the shivs out, which is freaking wild against Sipahi. What? Dimmu, that's expensive. Yeah, the thing about Sipahi, they're extra range light calves, so they can actually just kind of start a step away, kite you perfectly, and usually not even get hit. Does at least have a men-at-arms coming through now, so that'll be enough to scare him away. But Anatan now with a 6-worker lead. Only 4 of his is fishing boats. And by the way, remember, Anatan, Ottomans have a UI bug. Their fishing boats don't show up as economy, so it's actually at 51 economy to 41. I mean, obviously, it's been on these fish for quite a while, so there's really not much left of them, right? I mean, he's got 1,000 food here, and then he's dry. Oh, he's just hugging the corner of the map. And Dimmu actually the one on the offensive because he thinks there's an age up. But he's in for a rude awakening here. Anatan has not been aging up. He's starting to save a bit, but he's been building an army. Plenty of Sipahi showing up. Has got the ranged armor to mitigate the damage from the archers. Sipahi now diving in. They've got the fortitude. Dimmu has to run. Formation shuffling is saving his bacon from getting fully cooked, but it's not going to save him from getting scorched. Anno, now with the military lead, able to keep pushing this back. Resets the archer count. Dimmu just didn't have all of them here. Seems like he was keeping a backup wave somewhere. Because that's definitely not 30 archers. No, there's 10. And I'm struggling to see where. Oh, they were still at the back guarding the gold. Still, Anno, it was a good fight. However, it cost him a lot. He didn't age up. God. That's brutal. That was meant to be the window. But the Sipahi, I think, died quicker than Anno was even expecting. He just lost the meta, which means vet archers actually can snipe down the Sipahi at a reasonable pace. But what I like from Anno is he's realizing actually archers beat this. The Sipahi are kind of a distraction. Mass feudal archers can beat little veteran archers. If they're going to struggle, though, is with these guys. Does anyone else kind of hate they're only called men-at-arms? I don't know, man. I feel like we should have got a unique name for them. Maybe a slight difference to their men-at-arms, because it is the iconic Knights Templar Crusader. But they're just called men-at-arms. I don't know, has saved up the resources. Another meta coming through. And you just see how much longer Sipahi lasts. It ends up being 3 hits instead of 2. Sometimes 4. No. Hold up. We've got Istanbul Imperial Palace coming. Alright, that is a change of pace. Whistled new tune. As we get the unthinkable landmark. Why wouldn't you want Magos here, though, against Knights Templar? I mean, it's a cool idea. So remember, with this landmark, you generate Vizier XP quicker, but you also get 3 extra points. This means you can, for example, get a Kinji, Military Campus, Advanced Academy, Trade Bags, and Great Bomber, where you get a lot. Is it 8 in total you can get? 8 out of 12 techs. Marketplace behind. Is he? No, I think he's just buying maybe food. There's no way he's thinking about traders. Vizier points. Love that. Extensive fortifications was smart. It makes the TC undivable. Because remember, extensive fortifications increases the damage that garrison units do by 1, but then gives them a bonus damage of 2 to heavily armored units. So this is a choice intentionally to stop the meta-arms dive. That was smart. That's actually clutch. Because otherwise, Dimmu could just start flooding men-at-arms in while you're teching. Good reaction by Dimmu, though. Realizing what's happening. Does now steer elsewhere. A little bit more 2x speed. Don't want to be late for our co-stream event. But I am becoming more and more fascinated by this. I have been excited for Istanbul Imperial Palace games for so long. We just never see them pay off. Or if they do, it just feels like something else won the game. Archers now with snipe through. We'll get rid of pretty much everything here. Xanatan now without fishing, but he did creep the deer unnoticed. Dimmu is picking up relics but doesn't know about this. And by the way, Dimmu is doing phenomenally well there. Anno. Oh, he can't dive in though. Finds 1 or 2 worker kills. I think only 1 from that. Doesn't cover most of the production, true, but like, okay, Faye, if you placed the Istanbul Imperial Pass here to cover all that production, you would have died though, right? That's the problem. He had to hug the landmark, the TC, because otherwise extensive fortification wouldn't have protected him. So I know definitely made the right call here. Delete stable? He wouldn't have enough room. What do you mean this stable? I mean, even then, I don't know. I think you got too much crap going on to worry about holding delete. Spy being a nuisance. Anatan has got quite an impressive lead, by the way. He's up by 10 workers now. Spy gets surrounded and killed. They achieved another worker kill, and he's not done there. Denies one of the relics coming home. Dive towards the tree line. Game's getting a bit shaky for Dimmu right now. And this is the annoying thing. Like, he's going for the first fortress. This is the most vulnerable point in a Knights Templar's strategy. But regardless of it, that castle will be going up. And where is he placing it? Oh, that's interesting. He places it on the boar and the deer. Yeah, so anchors a lot of resources. In the meantime, looks like Anatan did get another 2 worker kills. Wow. I thought he was going to fortress drop the sacred site, actually. A little bit surprised by that. Yeah, most people just want to fortress drop a sacred site so they can protect their trade route, essentially, right? But I actually respect the fact that he didn't do that. He understood there's more important things, right? Yeah, but we don't talk about the gold. You don't need the gold. Bro, you're playing Knights Templar. Just get your gold from here. This is your gold. Do you not like your gold? It's pretty good gold. I think I've said gold that many times in a game since I last cast a Bronze League Legends game. And yeah, we have the Janissary Company. Wow. Okay, so he's desperate. Like, this is the type of play you make when you're in trouble. Second fortress coming up. Dimmu. Oh my god. This is always the thing about fortress spam. The first one is truly the hardest, but once you get that online, it just scales so naturally. You know, you're inflating your economy. Remember, every single fortress drop you do, which, by the way, only costs 600 stone, 300 gold, becomes easier because you inflate your pilgrim count. So that's where you get the gold now. Stone-wise, you can get 2 fortresses per normal outcropping. That's a great deal. Uh-oh. Looks like Templar Brothers did find the flank, but barely any health. Archership is going to get sacked. Nano is in for a rude alert here as he jumps on towards the fortress. Yeah, this is just not the place to be. I mean, you just don't expect it. It's so unusual to see a fortress drop this far back. Especially the first one. Like, the first one, you either put it on the sacred site, or you put it on a stone outcropping to get more stone. But this is sick. This is a great read by Dimmu. I think it's solved a very big problem for him. I know, now just trying to deny the relics. Probably won't be able to pick them up, but can at least slow down the gold. I mean, you got to do something, right? In fact, I wonder... Surely we just want treasure towers, right? Like, actually, in a weird way, killing this monastery helps Dimmu because it will make him realize he needs to move them. And then you just put a monastery here. Because then if you get treasure towers, you get 20% more from the monasteries. right? So each relic will give you basically like 96 gold, I think it is, instead of 80. Jimmy doesn't need that gold. I wouldn't be so sure, guys. Would you like to guess which commandery is best against Ottomans? It's this one. Venetians is really, really good against Otto. Now, having said that, I actually think we're going to get Kingdom of Poland because I've seen Dumu in this situation before against Ottomans. He just feels that the Schlatscha is way too good. Yeah, they're probably the... I'm trying to think, are they the best cavalry in the game? They're close to. Schlatscha cavalry are way too effective, even against the anti-cav civ. In theory, though, you know, if you lack food, Venetians is great because Condottiero counters Ottoman's siege ball and counters the Janissary. And what's up, Swaggy Professor? Thank you very much for the raid, buddy. Hope you had a good stream. Welcome, one and all. We're just checking out Anatan versus Dumu game number 4. After this series, we have got an awesome sponsor stream coming up from Logitech. They've got the Logitech G Play event happening shortly, in about 15 minutes-ish. So we'll be hopping across and watching that. This game's already over? Not necessarily. Anatan's got a rabbit in his hat. He's saving up for Imperial. For Dumu, he's just going to keep scaling fortresses, probably. Actually, no. He stops at 2. Sipahi are just going to creep around the back. Dumu's posturing, though, guys. His army is a lot bigger. Oh, man. I think he knows. I actually think he realized. Yeah. If you let this get online, especially with the Istanbul Imperial Palace, it should be a lot of pump. The weird part actually is, like, we haven't had much in the way of extra points here, really. Yeah, no. Since Anatan built the Imperial Palace, the one that generates Vizier points quicker, he's only been able to lock in an extra point for Janissary companies. So no military campus. He just unlock a new one there with the tech up. But the siege comes in. And Dumu looks like he found the perfect timing. Ay, ay, ay. Landmark needs a buff. I think this landmark, I think certain Vizier points should actually get buffed. Like, for example, if you build an Imperial Palace, a Kinji will spawn 5 instead of 5. Or, like, maybe the military campus... Oh, no, I'm not going to say it. But I was going to say military campus gives... Actually, yeah, no. You could say... I think, actually, a very easy way to make Istanbul Imperial Palace decent is that you get an extra military school from it. Yeah, here on the backside, Anno. Oh, my God. Look at the mini-map. Dumu is just everywhere. This is his base now. And I agree. It should be AoE. It should be influence, not AoE. Because basically, like this thing, it's only things in range of this, which is really bad. It used to be that Tower of Victory worked that way, and then they realized that was bad and turned it into a daisy chainer. Guys, it's happening. We called it. It's Kingdom of France again, man. What a wacky game. I can't believe how we got here as well. Like, the opening play to outspear the Ottomans. Outspear, essentially out-dark rushing. Probably the best dark rushing civ in the game. Probably not dark rush, but dark age civ. Like, if you play long dark, there's no better civ than Ottomans, right? Due to the Viziers. They put Dumu in such a great point to get deeper in this game. And props to Anatan throughout this whole, man. He did compete. It's only now starting to truly look like a one-sided affair. Like, there are moments in that mid-game, around 15, 20 minutes, where you could see a way, maybe. But I don't see the way anymore. Another fortress drop coming in. This is now going to buff all income. Did he move the relics? No, he just re-garrisoned them. He didn't even get treasure towers. I'm wondering if Dumu maybe forgot about treasure towers this game. Because it's a really good tech. You pay, like, what? 500 resources, but with 5 relics, you're going to be generating an extra... almost 100 resources per minute. Reminder, guys, click on that AMD link. They were nice enough, gracious enough to sponsor us this week. But yeah, 7 minutes left on the clock for a Sacred Site victory. And he has got fortresses locked in. There's one great bombard from Anatan, but like the problem here is his economy is just kind of in shambles and about to be so much worse for wear. Dumu. Oh my god, he doesn't know. Wait. He knows. He finds him. And that right there is the hit you need. He's got some spring emplacements. But if you just rally reinforcements over here, there's nowhere to go. Army has to rush out to protect. Sipahi Wave may be able to save him. Gets the dive in. Mangoes just get discarded. Okay, hold on a second. Anno. Oh, this could be big. He clears out the crossbow archers. Dumu does not have any new wave, right? He hasn't spawned the Schlachter yet. I mean, if he can get a few Schlachter out here, though, they are fantastic raiders, fantastic overall generic fighters. I'd say that was a good reprieve from Anatan, but it doesn't put him ahead. It just keeps him in the game. He needs more. But that was a sick start. What can he do now?
Arzuların benim için emir adolunuz.
I think from Anatan, the issue you now have is like you defended your economy, but you can't actually attack Dimu's economy. He's got so many fortresses up, and the way he set them up is just kind of suffocating here. Yeah, it also would mean Anatan would have to send Sipahi on their own and leave his base unguarded with just archers. Another thing to consider, I don't think the Schlacht have been revealed yet. Okay, they have now. Yeah, they jump in. This is the Polish cavalry, remember. They hit ridiculously hard. Even just the charge to start with. 74 damage on a Lance Connect. These Sipahi will be able to beat him in these numbers, but this is just the prelude, right? It's just the appetizer for the main meal. You know there's going to be more coming. Another Vizier point. What's he going for? So we got Advanced Academies. Okay, and plus the Great Bombard. So we already done the Great Bombard before, but that Great Bombard hasn't actually been addressing the fortresses. We're 4 minutes away from a Sacred Site victory. So Anatan is just planning to all in one of these. But yeah, welcome to Knights Templar economy. Almost 3,000 gold a minute because he got Treasure Towers. Did he move? No, he didn't. But Treasure Towers still does impact the Sacred Sites for more gold. Knock knock time. One Great Bombard versus the world. I'm going to do a little bit of 4x speed here. Anyone home? No, I'm going to keep knocking. Why did some pros sacrifice their mangonels like that? I think for Dimu, he thought maybe he'd be able to get the archers out. And also, like at high level, mangoes can be dodged quite well, whereas archer shots can't. Honestly, surprised he hasn't taken Iron Clamps. Remember, Iron Clamps decreases damage taken by 20% from Siege. From Gunpowder Siege, specifically. So it's actually perfect in this situation. But it doesn't look like it's going to matter. Dimu just has so much stone in the bank. Yeah, I mean, even now with it running out, he just buys, right? You just buy. The idea is it doesn't need to last forever. It just needs to last 2.5 minutes. And Elite Army Tactics now in the way is an interesting choice. Dimu just trying to sustain the spears. Reminder, Schlachter, they do get bonus damage against light infantry, which actually, ironically, Janissary are. Yeah, Schlachter can actually beat Janissary, and I'm not memeing. Equal count, most definitely, because Schlachter, they cost 300 resources, whereas Janissaries cost 160. And if you think about the maths on it, you know, Janissaries, they hit for, what, 37 damage, which is a lot. But here's the funny thing about Schlachter. Schlachter will hit you in return for 41, while having a hell of a lot more HP. 2 minutes to go on this clock. Anatan's looking for a freebie. I just don't think it exists. Boiling Oil is now in the way. Has to be careful with demo ship plays as well. I'm just going to dive in. And the Monk's griefing him. Demo's already been queued up. Oh, boy. Well, ironically, last time it was Dumu getting detonated on. Now it's Anatan's turn. It may not kill straight away, but there's plenty of time for more. Boat's now pulling across. Slasher on the way. This is it. This is Ano's last hope, but it's not looking good. The count is already low. He's lost half of them. Sipahi aren't going to do it. Timer resumes. Ano now has to dive in on the other side of the map with a much squishier army to try and do this. And no, boats do not decap. We had this discussion the other day on Hallow. Oh, we got double Great Bombard now, so maybe. Ano. A hard dive, though. Boiling Oil is actually hurting here. Mangonel showing up as well. And that hits you to the core. Only 9 Janissaries left. He goes to the decap. But too much time has been bought. 8 Mangonels. Okay, just give him on the win, dude. I want out of this. Adjustable freaking crossbars. Eat your heart out. It's going to be a 3-1 victory. Dumu books himself a date against Wham. And you want to know the craziest part? This could have just as easily been Dumu up against Voldemar with how tight the Canadian series was. But Dumu back to semifinals and back on form. Goodness gracious. Alrighty then. So that one, I think. What do we call that one? That one might be uploadable. Knights Templar out attack the best Dark Age Civ, maybe? That could be a good one. Alright, guys. So, we have got something cool that we're now going to be doing. In fact, I need to update the stream deets for it. Because we're going to switch over to the just chatting. Hopefully, you guys hang around and support us. Because we're doing a sponsor stream with Logitech. And I want to try and see if we can get some good results there. Because we can. Maybe we'll be able to get them to come and do maybe some AoE4 stuff in the future. So I need you guys to be loud and proud on the G Play show, which is going to be starting shortly. So I'm going to update the tile. I'm going to switch it over. If it's not for you, fair enough. There's other streams, but do appreciate people hanging around, supporting the sponsor content. Allows us to do more of it in the future. So 1 second. I need to update this. I'm going to switch over to the Just Chatting streamer now, Pog. And then I think I need to switch the tags, didn't I? Yeah. Oh god, I have to get rid of all these tags, don't I? Or I just add more. That's the lazy way. Co-stream. Just chatting, special events. Oh, we do have to get rid of some of them. All right, there we go. I think that's all updated. Let's get ready to switch over. We'll switch to this view. And let's get ready to roll. So, we have got a nice scene set up for this. I believe the show's getting ready to start soon. Nice. We've got 13 minutes to go. So, guys, what I'll do... I can maybe start a new one on YouTube. Probably have to. Yes. Let me switch over to our fancy scene. You guys ready? I create a fancy scene. What's that? I need to actually... All right, so this is our sponsor stream. We're doing it with Logitech. This is the Logitech G Play event. They run this every year. They announce a bunch of new things coming through. I just realized I don't actually have a scene set up for TikTok. All right, TikTok. I'm sorry, I'm gonna have to leave you out because otherwise we're gonna get like some scuffed interactions from TikTok side. Sorry, TikTok. Thank you very much. I'll see you guys tomorrow for more of the AoE 4. So let me stop that one. All right, there we go. Sorry, TikTok. All right, guys. So we've got 12 minutes. Great time to get yourself a drink, some food, whatever. But I'm just quickly updating everything. On YouTube, I know what I need to do. YouTube, I wish there was a way to just naturally cut into 2 videos. YouTube doesn't let you do that. So maybe I change it from AoE 4 to something else. Might just make it gaming general. That should be fine. Yeah, hopefully people hang around, support us as we do this. So I quickly am going to take this opportunity to just grab a drink. I'll be back in like 2 minutes tops, guys. Like I said, do the same. And then we'll celebrate this together. So like I said, this is the event they run every single year. I think it's always in September, same time. And we should be seeing some new announcements on products, some new things about sim racing if you're into that as well. I know I've got a boomer audience and sim racing is quite popular there. But also, I think there's some announcements coming in esports related. Curious about that. Well, that might be. I'll be back in a sec though, guys. Sorry guys, that took a little bit longer because I had to change socks as well. Seriously. My daughter decided to run off with my shoes, so I had to change socks as well because it's wet outside. Thanks, Freya. You sim race and sim fly? I haven't really tried the sim stuff before, actually. It's very pricey, is my issue. And I don't have much money. Maybe I should, though. Maybe I should have much money. By having more subs. Subscribe. That was an interesting swing. But let me double check. Hey, see it worked. Thank you, Veteran Wolf. Appreciate the Prime sub, mate. Welcome back to the Swarm. Just double check. Sorry, I just need to make sure I got everything set up correctly. Oh, that's what I needed to do. There's something I needed to add on the YouTube side. And we got the pin message right. Everything else should be correct. Yarp. Yeah, I wish there was just a way to like take a YouTube live stream and just cut it into a second one automatically. I don't know why YouTube doesn't allow for that. Like, you'd think the moment you switch category it would do it, but it doesn't. I guess I could just end the stream, start a new stream. Ah, all right, let's do that. All right, YouTube, I'm going to quickly end the stream. I'll start a new one. Sorry, YouTubers. Otherwise, it's just going to get messy anyway. Like, for the algorithm, it's probably better to do it